We did it, Wes.
We did it. Did we actually do it?
I,
Or are we counting our chickens before we hatch, Ruuts?
I think we did it. It looks like we did it.
It appears that we have done it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me, as always, is my good friend Ruuts. Ruuts, we're making it happen, man. We're finding a way to make it happen.
I know. It was kind of a interesting way to make it happen. Actually, I guess before we get ahead of ourselves, I feel like we're missing something. Like something's not here that should be here.
I don't. Main fan?
Oh, yeah, main fan. Where's main fan? Oh, wait. Oh, Eric. Oh, yeah, Eric's. What a wuss, man. He's got a flight at like 4 a.m. or something. He had to get sleep. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What are you doing, Eric?
All right, hold on a second. Let me see something. Make sure I didn't just break something.
I hope not.
I didn't. Okay.
Okay.
I resized my Discord with you in it,
Mm.
and it broke it for a minute, but then I just made it full screen again, and now everything's fine.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of mixed technology right now. And actually, you were saying if we would have thought about it, the new update for PlayStation 5 would have helped. We could have just done this in Discord through there, and we could have changed things up. But I guess that's for next time.
So those of you who have been watching our channel and our podcast for some time already know what the deal is. Just by looking at the title line, you know why we're late. We're late because we're doing real-time review tonight, but we're not just doing real-time review tonight. We're doing real-time review from PlayStation VR 2 for the first time. And as usually is the case, there have been some technical challenges with getting it across, and as is usually the case, those technical challenges have to do with getting game audio to the stream. We have come up with yet another method that we haven't used before. I don't think we've done. Have we done this before, Ruuts?
I don't think so. This is definitely different. Well, maybe we might have in some form or fashion, but what's different for me is I'm not even going to be running the OBS on the second part, so I get to kind of take a little break. Although I guess nothing really changes except for which end it's going on. So you know who doesn't really care which end it goes in?
My mom.
Oh yeah,
She don't.
she's dirty.
She is very dirty. No, man. It should, all in all, doing it this way, it's a little more complicated to set up, but it should, in the end, mean a better experience for the viewers because we're not compressing the video signal 5 times before it gets to you. It's coming straight.
It's true.
Out of my PlayStation 5 fresh to the people, and in theory everything should work just fine.
I didn't think about it from that point. Yeah, I think that's actually a good thing, man. Maybe this will be the new standard for at least PlayStation VR. Well, really, I guess it should be. We should just do it this way anyway, right? Like from now on, as
makes
far as
more sense.
Yeah, get that direct video feed.
Yeah, it's a little more setup, but I mean, after we get it set, it shouldn't be any problem. Like it should just stay.
What?
But things that work one week, they have a way of just magically breaking on their own.
Well, here's the best news about that, Wes, is it's not something that I have to do. It's all on your end, so it's easy for me. I just sit here, Wes scrambles, gets everything set up, and then we go. It's good.
But don't rest on your laurels, Ruuts, because I will be passing it back to you for the outro.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll have to we'll do just swapperoo, do a little swapperoo again at the end, right?
Swap it right. Yep, just swap it right back over. I'll hit stop and you can hit play and we'll pick it right back up.
Yeah, that works.
Anyway, welcome all. Those of you who waited up an extra 30 minutes for us to get our shit together. Thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. Why don't we say hello to our friends in chat, Ruuts, because I think they deserve it at this point. They deserve some recognition. People like Mr. Tasselhoff here says, I must sleep, but I'm saying hi and good night. Well, good night, Taz.
Taz is the best about just swinging in and saying hi, and then because he's got a family, he's got a lot of things going on, so we appreciate you, Mr. Taz.
Mr. Lord Beavis says, Restream? If we were using Restream to do this podcast, then what we're about to do tonight would not be possible. Because the way Restream works is if something goes down, your stream's dead. That's it. And we're relying on YouTube to not kill our stream when we switch over from Ruuts' OBS to mine. So yeah, not possible with Restream. We avoid Restream with good reason.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like my beard is extra fluffy, man. I just took a shower and this thing is like out of control. It's
You get some soul glow in that stuff, man.
I need to do something because it's looking very mangy right now and it's bothering me. But I apologize for the fluffiness of my beard, everyone. I wanted to, before we get started, I wanted to shout out Lincoln Clay and tell him thank you because he's got, on Friday I'm getting a wheel. He's sending me his old T150 and pedals, and I already have the stand, Wes. It's going to be here Friday as well. So as long as everything works out, I should be able to be racing in GT7 with a wheel and pedals, and see what all this hubbub's all about. You guys keep talking about. So, but what an awesome
So,
guy.
yeah, shout out to Lincoln Clay for being a hell of a dude. Like he went above and beyond, not only to give Roots his wheel, but to ship it and pay for all of it. Like
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, man.
that's very cool.
The 12, the backlog Gamecat says no issues waiting it out. Typically, well, so here's the thing, right? We're covering Galaxy's Edge again, which is something Brian and I talked about earlier on the Gamescast. So what can we do differently so that we're not just coming on here and saying all the same things that Brian and I talked about earlier? Well, the easy answer to that is we do a real-time review where I play the game live for you as we talk about it. So that's the reason for the wait, and we appreciate your patience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was just telling a customer today, and it's funny. I went into her apartment, and I noticed she was playing a PlayStation 5. I said, "Oh, what are you playing?" And I looked around, and like you could tell it had just got there. Like the box was on the ground, the big box was right. I said, "Did this just got?" She's like, "Yeah, I just got in there." I said, "What are you playing?" Harry Potter. She was getting ready to play Harry Potter, and I was like, "Dude, that game is so amazing." I started talking about VR. Turned her on to the podcast. I watched her actually subscribe right in front of us, so she might be here tonight.
Nice.
And what was cool was started talking to her about Astrobot, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I had seen that, but I didn't know what it was." And I explained that about the controller and how it was like a showcase of what everything can be done. And like before I was even finished, she had already switched over to Astrobot. And she's like, "I'm trying that first." So she went into Astrobot and was playing that as I was leaving. What an awesome day it must have been for her to get into PlayStation 5 goodness. And I think I convinced her to pick up the PlayStation VR 2 as well, or at least at some point, because she's like aware of VR and was thinking about it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
There we go. Planting seeds one at a time. This is what we do, right?
Yeah. It was actually the first seed I planted. I went to another apartment complex right after that, talked to the guy there, and he had a PlayStation 5 and was telling him, "Dude, you need to." He was like, "I'm not sure if I want to do it or not." What was weird is he said, I've already seen so many reviews. I don't feel like I need to get it." And I was like, "Dude, it's so awesome. I think you should." I said, at minimum, order it from Amazon or Best Buy and play it for a week. If you don't like it, return it. Like you already got the hardware. You already have the PlayStation 5 to play it. And because he's already played through Resident Evil 8. That's what started the conversation. I saw Resident Evil Village sitting there, and I asked him what his thoughts were on it. And I was telling him how awesome it is in VR. And he was giving me some tips for those lichens in the beginning. He said, just shoot them in the knees. They'll go down. You can kill them easy that way. I was like, please,
Right.
now I'm in there. So
I was thinking maybe we go back to that one for next week. So now you have some tips.
yeah, because I really do feel like I'm still daunted. I'm watching Wes go through there. Like I try to get through quick. Wes is just like sitting there killing things left and right. You made them your bitch. And like when I went in there recently, I died so quickly, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I think I was supposed to shoot him in the knees, Wes. So
That's it. Shoot him in the knee.
yep,
It's good advice for life, generally.
yep, and shoot him in the other knee. Radio Runt says. So yeah,
There you
I
go.
agree.
What's up, Radio Run? What's up, Wonder Rob? Good to see you. Tiffany, always nice to see you. Antone Jones says, you know who else likes it when you plant your seed?
My mom.
Yeah, she's sometimes she's like gets a little pissed. Gotta watch it. You gotta know her mood, what she's into.
Z Storm's with us. What's up, See you, Storm. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Says GT7 VR is still mind blowing. Yeah, you can all thank Lincoln Clay, all you GT7 heads out there, because we're going to go back to that game and cover it again because Roots is going to be playing it with the wheel, and it's a good thing, Roots, because I haven't had a chance to play it since last week, and I need an excuse, and that'll be my excuse.
Yeah, I haven't gone back into it either. And I was thinking about this actually on the last show that we did because we'd mentioned it. And I was thinking, man, I didn't even go, like, remember how you guys talked about the cafe or whatever? I still haven't gone into the cafe. And the last thing I did was the stupid licensing, man. Fuck that license bullshit. I want to get into some races. But now I'm going to be able to do it with a wheel, and I'm going to be able to play some multiplayer. And Radio Run just reminded me Wreckfest, which hopefully they'll eventually bring that into VR. But I might actually stream some Wreckfest this Friday with the wheel as well. So we'll see. It'll definitely be it'll be cool.
Absolutely. What's up, Guido? Good to see you. What's up, Josh Taylor? Good to see you as well. Lee VR, hello. I'm going to start scrolling now, Roots, because the longer I wait, the longer it takes to get up to the top. Happy birthday, Spry Guy. Good to see you here.
Yeah, Spry's every day is a Spry birthday.
Spry was in the Without Parole chat earlier, and I told him happy birthday, and Brian's like, today's his birthday? Like, every day is his birthday, bro.
That's funny.
It is funny. Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Game Cat. What's up? Old Darth. Good to see you. Got some Game Cats in the chat. Wolfheart JG says, good morning. Good morning.
I gotta complete Cafe Menu 9, apparently, to according to Old Darth, to play multiplayer. Well, I better get working. Because right now
I guess we should say his name properly. It's Old Darth. My PSVR 2 is full of colors.
Oh, that's true. We don't want to forget that. And it is full of colors. And I was marveling about that and the stuff I went into today. That's cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a recurring theme, I feel like, on tonight's episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, Chinatown D? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Going to be good to see you in a couple weeks when I actually see you with my real eyes.
That's crazy, right? It's like flying by so quickly. She's going to be there, and then she's going to be here, and it's time is just flying.
He's taking the National Virtual Strangers Tour.
Yeah, she's going to start. When are you going to see MASH, dude?
She don't want to see MASH.
No, who does? Nobody wants.
That would be the Strangers. That would be the Strangers in the Night tour.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
My wife is in chat. What's up, wife? She's been sitting here watching us scramble for a half hour trying to figure this stuff out. Virtual Waypoint said just woke up. Perfect timing, indeed. Perfect timing. Walking Dead 9293. What up? Good to see you. Lord Beavis. Did we say hi to Lord Beavis? Hi, Lord Beavis, just in case we missed you. Lord Beavis, one of our newest Patreons.
Oh, really? Well, we appreciate you, Lord Beavis. You're helping pay for stuff down the road that we don't even know needs to be paid for yet. So,
yeah, like abortions and never mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that's expensive stuff. D says, New York. She ain't going to New York, please.
Yeah, right. I concur with that sentiment. Mind Jive is here. What's up, Mind Jive? Hello. Eric, you're supposed to be asleep. What the fuck are you doing here? Go to sleep.
He said he couldn't sleep. That
sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like when you need to sleep, you can't sleep. Good news is, Eric, you're going to be able to sleep on the plane. It's so easy to sleep on an airplane. There's nothing going on keeping you awake. For sure.
This is my impersonation of Eric trying to sleep. What time is it? Do I have a meeting? Yeah, that's Eric. That's Eric trying to sleep.
I don't trust people enough to either A, sleep on an airplane, or B, play Quest 2 on an airplane. Unless I had somebody with me, like if you were there with your wife or something, absolutely. If you're there by yourself, what could be happening around you is what I think. It's not just not worth it.
My experience on the airplane is it's pretty easy to sleep. There's not enough room to play VR. Like there's just not. Like maybe if you paid extra for like the one of the front seats that's right on the emergency exit aisle, you might could get away with it there. But the seats I had, Like there was just no room for it.
I'm not talking about playing Beat Saber on the airplane. Swinging your arms. What could you play? You could play something. There's got to be something that you could like easily.
Maybe something gamepad style like Moss or something you might pull off.
That's true.
GB, what up? Good to see you, friend. Salvador, good to see you as well. Wolvraza here, good to see you. Elvert, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. Ludovico Mariale, good to see you. Says, following from my train on a mobile connection. Wow.
That's
You must
awesome.
have good signal where Ludovico is from.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see here. We said hello to Albert, GB, the Lord. I think we might be getting close to the top here. I don't know.
Well, Kill Artist 11, the
Radio
Dreamweaver Gamecat says their PSVR freaked out tonight with skewed and jumbled graphics after the update. Luckily, after a restart, it was back to normal. What I found is I updated everything, Wes, and I got in to go to first runner and then the Galaxy game after, but my right hand wasn't in existence. And I was like, what is happening? Like I'd go into the menu and I could like use it, but my hand wasn't there. So I said, you know, I'm just going to restart the PlayStation VR 2 or PlayStation 5. And when I did, it prompted me to update my right controller. Apparently it updated everything but my one controller, but still let me go in there. And it was it was just the weirdest thing. I'm like, man, my hand is gone. And then it was there. So it was good.
I wonder if this did anything for those people who were having controller troubles.
Maybe.
Maybe like 5% of people or less were having like a really bad controller issue. I know some of them returned their hardware to replace it. But I'd be interested to know, those of you who haven't, if this has made a difference for you.
It's possible.
So, let us, yeah.
You know
let us know. Leave a comment.
What's weird
applies to you.
What's weird is Radio Run says he's having issues with Demeo with tracking. And that was one issue I did not notice at all, ever. We just played it for like 2 or 3 hours last night, right?
He would have been so proud. We're going to talk about it in a minute. You would have been so proud of us, Radio.
Yeah.
We pull it off against all odds.
We did
Ryan B is here. We did it. We did do it. Ryan B is here. Black Market Honey is here. I need new mouse roots. This thing sucks.
Yeah, I can't stand it. When your wheels broke, it sucks. That's definitely bad.
It works 75% of the time.
Well, you know, it's better than most government programs, right?
So. Yeah, well, that's true. That's as far up as I can scroll. If I missed you, I apologize. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Roots, we were in such a scramble to get everything set up for the real-time review. I forgot to ask you, what are we talking about first tonight?
I got Runner in this, the first one, because I figured, you know, we'd go as far as in-depth wise to the work our way down the list.
Runner's a good example to start with, because the theme of tonight's show, the unofficial, I guess official theme of tonight's show is, Quest ports. Are they really just ports, or are they enhanced? And Runner's a good example of the types of outside the box thinking that studios can, if they put their mind to it, do to implement PlayStation specific features.
Sorry, never mind. I thought you weren't. I thought your audio was messed up, but I was wrong. It's still there. You're good.
So funny because, coming over from Quest, the title is called the same thing. I don't think it's like Runner enhanced or anything like that, or Runner rebooted, or anything. It's just Runner. But there are PlayStation specific features that just were added in an update, maybe a week ago or less at this point. And I'm talking, of course, about social screen play. There's couch co-op modes that are available to play now if you're playing this on PlayStation. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we get to that, I want to just do a direct comparison of the parts that we had played before on Quest that we came back over, namely the campaign. Um, Anything different stick out about this game to you now versus when you played it before, Roots?
I mean, obviously, the first thing that we led off with, the colors, is very vibrant and bright and just colorful. Um, yeah, I mean, I felt like, I mean, obviously the haptics as well. But I mean, not anything more than that, probably.
Well, I mean, that's a lot though. Let's dive into this a little bit. The colors, you're absolutely right. It's the first thing that sticks out to you. Now, this was a very colorful game to begin with. Um, I think that the colors, and yeah, we all know OLED has deeper colors, but I think in this, the specific case of this game, I think the colors pop even more because it's all set against a black background, right? And the black is actually really black. So when you have all these like glowing purples and greens and reds everywhere, they really pop even more because the background, the black background, is black and not gray, right?
Yeah, it's a muted black, right? That's one of the things that does suck about the Quest too. But I definitely think that this is the best version of it, the way it looks in this one for sure.
Yeah, and then as soon as we start talking about blacks, I'm sure someone's already typing Mira into the chat. We have noticed Mira from time to time in these games. It varies from game to game how noticeable it is. You would think it would be very noticeable in this game because it is set against a dark background. I didn't see it at all. Did you?
I did not, and I was actually looking for it just because we've
Me too.
seen it in different things, and it's one of the first things I. That's what's kind of sucks, man. I don't want to be looking for Mira all the time, but I can't help it, especially if we're going in to talk about it, because people want to know, is the Mira there? And it made me start to think, like, is it like that film that they put people talk about to diffuse it? And I don't know what it's
The
called on there.
diffuser. Yeah.
It People have said this recently in the last couple of episodes. Are people mistaking that for Mira? And my first instinct was always, no, it's not. But now I'm starting to think, is it? Like, are we? Like, is it that film that's on there that you're just noticing it sometimes? I don't know. I don't know what the hell is happening. I'm so lost.
I don't know. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about Mira a little bit this week just because we're still in the honeymoon phase, but I'm about to just call a moratorium on hardware review. People, it's been pretty thoroughly beat to death at this point. People know what the issues with the headset are, and there are varying degrees of severity from person to person, from headset to headset. I think we pretty much last week put it to bed what our final word is on the platform, that the trade-offs are heavily weighted toward the positive side. While that's not perfect, the headset is the best experience that a consumer can have right now in VR. Total package, everything all included, games, haptics, everything all included. It's a significant upgrade from wherever you're coming from. But again, with that caveat that there are certain people who won't be able to see past the few minor flaws that it has, and that's kind of the final word on it. I don't think we need to keep revisiting it. If people have specific questions, of course we'll ask it. But I think after we get past this week, we can stop talking about Mira and SDE and God Rays and just start talking about how awesome the games are again.
It just depends on what is important to people. Like, someone like Wolvie would be willing to overlook a lot of these things on a Quest 2, like compression or whatever, or graphics being dumbed down or whatever, because it's wireless. It doesn't have the wire, so it doesn't matter. It's like that is the key. And then other people, it's something else. So it's definitely everybody's going to be different. Every headset has its limitations. Valve Index, for example, God Rays from Hell, and the controllers suck. But it's one of the best headsets for FOV, and you know what I mean? Like, so you're going to get trade-offs. We're all looking for that perfect headset, but I don't think it exists, and I don't think it's going to exist for several years, from what sadly it's Bradley says, and I trust Brad. So
Me too. So we have numerous people in the chat asking what brightness we're running on. So for runner, I had it cranked all the way to 100. I had it turned down for the stuff we played yesterday, but when it came to today, I got in the Galaxy's Edge and it was so great looking. I wanted to see what it looked like
Mm.
at 100. I turned it up to 100 and I played all day on 100.
Did it look
What's your
better?
brightness setup?
75. I didn't turn mine up or down. I thought about it, and I should have probably done that because people say that Galaxy's Edge is 90 frames steady, right? It's no pre-projection and stuff. So did you notice any? Well, I guess we'll talk about that when we get to that game.
I actually thought about after I turned it up to 100, trying to look through the options to maybe turn it up some more. It's a dark gaming area. So and again, the blacks are like black. So like when you're in dark areas, you're like, man, that's what prompted me to turn it up, is because there were some low lighting areas in the game that I wanted to see a little bit more. So I turned it up and I just left it there. But we'll get to Galaxy's Edge, but yeah, it was beautiful, and I played. It's still on 100. I played Runner like that too. So Roots, you said yours was about 75,
Yeah,
80%.
I turned mine down to 75% because that's what Gamertag recommended, and I haven't left it. I've left it right there because I don't want to piss Gamertag off, and no, I trust Gamertag as well. So
The GB already changing his name to the GB, the Buzzy Game Cat. What's up? Snacks is in the house. The future arrives, Game Cat. Good to see you, friend. Hawk 107 here with us as well. Hello. Well, all right. Marjanovic. Yeah, I think I said that right. And he's listing a lot of games here that need PSVR 2 updates: Dreams, Skyrim, RE7, No Man's Sky, Blood and Truth, and the Persistence. The Persistence, isn't that funny, Roots? That we're talking about the Persistence yet again.
yeah, and I wonder if all of those games are. I mean, I would say every one of those games have a good chance of being updated. I better No Man's Sky is definitely at the top of the list. I want a remake of RE7. Or at minimum bring it into the PlayStation VR 2. I could care less about Skyrim, but that's just me. If I'm gonna play Skyrim, I want to mod the shit out of it on PC and change it up. But man, that game has came out on every single console a million times, so I would not doubt if it gets updated.
So that makes sense then why Brad talks so much about it, right? The Persistence.
Yeah. Well, for real.
No matter what game we're talking about, he always just wants to talk about the Persistence.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it made him sick.
Oh, and Farpoint. Good call, Darth. Wipeout. Yeah, we could go on. We could do 2 hours on the titles we're still waiting on, and many of them are going to come still. I'm quite sure, but we'll talk about them when they get here. Let's talk about Runner. Beautiful. We just mentioned that it looks great. Just on the hardware end, I didn't really notice any kind of difference in terms of like the game art. That all looks pretty similar. Maybe there's some improved lighting. I think might be at play here, but in general, the game looks very similar outside of the differences that OLED makes. I did notice a little bit of difference in the gameplay because when we played Runner was when Runner first launched on Quest, and it has been updated since then. And maybe it's just me being awesome, but the game seemed easier now. Did it seem easier to you?
I mean, I don't know. This game is definitely oh yeah, I guess it would. You would, now that you say that, it is a little bit easier because that was one of the things that we said right off the bat, how hard this game was, right?
Yeah. 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 I mean, it took me like, I don't know, 20 attempts to get past the first level playing it on Quest. And then kind of the same thing with the second level. When I picked it up for this, having not played it in a couple months at least, I ran all the way through the first level without dying, all the way through the second level without dying, all the way to the boss in the third level. And then after I got killed there, I quit. So, yeah, it seemed maybe I'm just good. I'm better now than I used to be, but it seemed easier to me.
Listen to Wes.
This man legitimately thinks that he is better than
He
us.
thinks he's better than us. I did die a couple times, so now I'm starting to feel inadequate. No, I don't think I did die actually. It did seem a little bit easy, but I don't know, not easy, but easier. But still, a lot of people are saying in the chat, or at least a couple people were saying they weren't sure. They're debating whether they should pick this game up. What would you say to that, Wes?
I would say that you should pick this game up. It's very fast paced. We're trying not to do a full review of it here again tonight because we've already reviewed it. But this is an excellent game. It's one of the better games that came out on Quest last year. This even won the Riggs Award, did it not?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
to me, I was just marveling how just how it looked in the headset, the colors, man, like it just looked so good, right?
Yeah, yeah, they really really popped. But what it wasn't the biggest the biggest upgrade for me over the Quest version. And this is going to be a familiar theme on tonight's show as well. That comes in the form of haptics and adaptive triggers, because what was a very cut and dry arcade shooter on Quest now has a whole other layer of tactile immersion added into it. And I mean, haptics fine. The triggers are really what stood out to me here in this thing. Like, did you happen to fire off the laser gun?
I don't think so. I use the guns that you can pull out, and then the guns that come with the thing. Don't think I got the laser gun. Is that an upgrade?
Yeah, well, yeah, the way it works is as you go down these tracks, there are icons on the road. You have to drive into them to get different guns. So, like, there's a flat cannon, there's a like a shotgun, one they call it spread shot or something like that, and then there's a laser gun, which might have a little something to do with why I made it so far, because the laser gun's like God mode, like you can melt everything with that thing. But what was so cool about it is the way it felt to pull the trigger. It was constant resistance. It was very spongy and like you had to really push all the way through the trigger pull. It wasn't like a clicky like a gun would be, right? It was like you had to pull it all the way through, and it just felt so good every time you pulled the trigger. You really had to squeeze into it, and every gun was like that. Like the flat cannon, like not only did the trigger feel great in that one, but the haptics were really good on that one too. Like you could feel the rattle to it when you fired that thing off. Um, yeah, the weapons in the game were already cool. Um, but I mean, this is just a whole other layer of immersion. And the only thing I regret about this Roots, being honest about it, is that I feel like every time we review a shooter on Quest, a Quest shooter that came over, we're going to say the exact same thing because it has been the case that this has been the case for everything that I played. That the real big difference that really makes this platform worth its money is that the difference in how it feels to play.
Yeah, yeah. And if that doesn't come up in the conversation, then I guarantee, well, can't guarantee, but probably gonna shit on the game because that means they didn't do any adaptive triggers, and that's one of the biggest, my biggest gripes for any developer is like, and we said this on I think it was on CruCast, utilize the hardware, and I mean, so far everybody's been doing it, so that's good.
All right, so Wonder Rob says, "Hey guys, on the Quest version, the story was a separate app?" Question mark. I was hoping that they would incorporate that content in the PSVR 2 version. So there's a story campaign that you play through on the game, and you get story scenes in between every level. Now, what you're talking about is kind of this a prelude, like the origin story, if you will. What is the name of this thing? You could download it separately on the other on Quest, or maybe even it was on PC. But this all comes bundled now on PSVR. You get that prelude story app, you get the game, and then you get the soundtrack. With and here's the cool thing about the soundtrack, unless I'm remembering this incorrectly, in which case please forgive me. But I'm pretty sure that this soundtrack comes with a visualizer that you can view in 3D with the headset on. So like there's a full VR visualizers when you listen to the soundtrack.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I've never been one to listen to soundtracks of games, so I'm always like, whenever I see that as like a bonus thing. But I mean, to me, I'm like, it's no big deal. But there are people out there that they really like, especially if you really like the music of a game. I just can't see myself listening to the soundtrack, but maybe through with the visuals.
Yeah, that would be the thing. I would do it maybe to check out the visualizer and see what it looks like. But give me just a second. I'm gonna look this thing up and make sure I'm not just spouting
Remembering
shit out of my
incorrectly.
ass. Yeah.
Well, you never know, right? We think we remember
So,
something.
so I type in runner, and of course, the PlayStation Network gives me 30 different games that all have runner in the title. How about the one that's just called Runner?
Yeah. And you got to put Runner VR.
Come on, Sony, you can do it, baby.
So you think
There
they
we go,
nerfed it a
Runner.
little bit, huh? They nerfed the gameplay, made it a little bit easier.
I'm not sure, and I didn't check to see if there are difficulty levels. I might be able to increase it and make it hard again.
Oh, you know who else loves to make it hard again, Wes?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here we are. Includes the free graphic visual novel Preamble. So it literally is called Preamble. That is fully voiced by a veteran cast. So yeah, they've got full voice acting in Preamble, and it's bundled with it.
Nice.
It also includes the VR compatible Visualizer Core soundtrack app. So yeah, everything I said was actually correct. Can you believe it?
Yeah, you got a good memory. Wonder Rob says, you guys know I'm an animator in my job, so the cartoon story scenes mean a lot to me. That's kind of cool, man. It sounds a lot cooler than killing cockroaches and bed bugs and the stuff that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Or making batteries, hooking up acid hoses. Yeah.
We need batteries, Wes.
That is true. That's why I never got the vacation in 2020 like everyone else did. I just had to keep going to work.
Yeah, see, I had the same, I don't want to say same problem. I felt like that was actually a benefit, man. It's like everyone else like has this memory of being cooped up inside. I don't. Like I never was cooped up inside. My life never changed. I
Yeah.
just kept going, doing everything the same, going into everybody else's houses. I never got sick. That's pretty good. Listen to me.
This man legitimately thinks that he is better
do.
than us.
I do think that. No, just kidding.
Wonder Rob says, "Hey devs of Runner, I just got convinced to buy your game on this channel. All devs take notice." Thank you, Wonder Rob. Very kind.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, so let's talk about some more new features because the ones we just listed aren't it. But again, the triggers are so cool. I don't want to understate that. Like the triggers and haptics are freaking awesome in this game. They very good job of integrating them and really making the game more immersive. But first of all, you might be interested to know, Roots, that there is a game mode now called I want to say Free Roam or Free Ride.
Free ride.
It's invincible. You can have invincible mode on and just run through the game and shoot and kill everything and never die.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good for that friend that just sucks at everything. You're like, dude, here, let me show you. You're gonna be so good at this, bro. And he's like, man, I can't believe it. I'm so good. I didn't even die. But yeah, that's kind of cool, because it's kind of that was one of the things that I was enjoying as I was killing stuff. But I can imagine if you didn't have to even care. I was just looking around at all the buildings and just how cool everything looked, and I was like, man, this is really cool. That city looks amazing.
Yeah, agreed. And I did the same thing when I brought Isabel in here and we tried out the social screen modes. So the way the social screen modes work is you can hand another player the DualSense controller, and they can actually be the one who drives the bike on the TV screen while you're in VR and shooting things. And at first I thought, maybe this is not the best idea. Maybe if you're not driving that you might get sick, but it really wasn't like that. It was all very smooth. The game gives you options in the pause menu to change the camera angle so that it's easier for the person to drive. Like if it's first person, it makes it a little bit more difficult for someone to kind of do that on the social screen. But if you can back it out to a third person camera, and it makes it much easier. It kind of shrinks the field of view in and allows them to have better vision. And as long as they can see, this is her first time playing it, and she had no problem. I mean, we bumped something every now and then, but she did a very good job, and it was cool. Is it as fun to play that way? Not really, but it's a nice way to incorporate someone else. Like if you're playing VR and there's someone else in the room who's just sitting there and you want to get them involved and instead of just staying isolated in your headset, this is a way you can do it. You just pick up the controller. You don't even have to stop your game. You can just pick up the controller and hand it to them and you're good to go.
I don't even know how VR works these days anyway, because mammals need to see their surroundings. So,
That's right.
you know.
That's what I hear. Maddie Freedom's with us. I just bought Runner on the store now too. I've got to stop doing this. Oh no, please don't stop watching our show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because if you watch our show, you're going to end up buying games. I'll tell you what, because
Yeah.
we made a decision a long time ago that we're only going to cover the games we want to talk about, the ones that we enjoy, and so like it comes
right.
through. And every once in a while, there'll be a what the bat, and we just trash. I have not. This one thing I have not heard anybody say, Wes, that we convinced him to buy what the bat. So
Yeah. Well, technically, we still haven't even covered that one, so
we will. We're going to cover it.
we'll eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I mean, we're gonna do. So last week we went heavy on the first party AAA stuff. This week we're doing Quest ports. Next week we're going back. We're going to do Village next week, and
Switch back the week after.
Yeah, Switchback comes out next Thursday.
That's what I was telling that girl too today. That in her apartment, it's like, man, I'm like, the devs are supposed to give us early access, and I'm like, I want it. I want it now. I want to play it today. But you know,
Yeah, I think I'm going to send some emails tomorrow. Some what the hell emails. Like,
yeah,
what the hell, man.
yeah. What the hell? You were on the CruCast. You told us. I am drinking a water with a vitamin and mineral supplement in it.
Water? You mean like that stuff from the toilet?
From the toilet, yeah. I ran out of my Coke, real sugar Coke, and I thought I saw my water there, and I'm like, you know what? I should actually have some vitamins and minerals, and it tastes good. So,
Anyway, Roots, $15 for Runner. How nuts is that?
that's a steal. It's a steal because there's so much game to it, and it's like this is one of those retro games that you played back in the day, arcadey motorcycle shooter, good story, and it just looks phenomenal in the headset. And it's so fast paced, man. There's so much going on, you know, like even just when you think you've seen everything, there's different weird stuff coming out trying to kill you, and super cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, $15. Like if you go to Wendy's, you're spending like $10, $11 right now. Like $15 for this in 2023 is kind of nuts. It's underpriced. I don't know how else to put it. It's underpriced. It probably should be at least $20. I wouldn't be mad if it was $25. It's a very good game with a lot of replayability, a nice story campaign. It is arcadey, but there's leaderboards. So, I mean, there's reason to go back in time and again. And the gameplay arc is just fun.
And there's the soundtrack with visuals.
Yeah, and a preamble.
Yeah, and a preamble.
Anyway, we recommended this game on Quest. We doubled down on that for PlayStation VR 2. Now, typically, and you're going to notice this as we start to cover more and more of these Quest games. The verdict is going to be it's better on PlayStation VR 2. Is it better enough to buy it again if you already have it? Typically, we're going to say no to that, even if it is an improvement. But when you're talking about for $15, I mean, you should consider buying this one again, right? It's super cheap.
Yeah, especially if you like it on the Quest. I mean, the colors alone, it just it looks better, it plays better, the haptics are better. You got the adaptive triggers. You know, are you going to get a completely new game? No, but you're going to get a better experience. And you know, depending on if you're like us, you're going to be in your PlayStation VR 2 headset more anyway. So it's just nice to have a game to jump into. This is a great game to play in between other games, right? Jump in for a couple race or runs and then jump out. So,
you know, someone in the chat just mentioned something about rush mode. I forgot about rush mode. I think this is another new mode. I'm trying to look it up and see exactly what it is, but I do remember reading something about.
Oh no,
Rush
Wonder
mode.
Rob says it's not booze. He's drinking booze. No, I'm not a big drinker. I actually haven't drank for a couple of years, probably at least. Smoking weed is kept me from doing that, and I'm not even doing that anymore, like right now. So, but I definitely don't think it's bad. It's just my body doesn't like alcohol. It just refuses to. I'm like Wes. I just want to go to sleep after I've had a couple drinks. I just literally I want to go lay down. And it's like, well, why did I drink? What was the point?
So maybe the rush mode is the bullet time. That makes sense.
Okay.
Because it says execute time bending special moves with rush mode, and that sounds like when you fill up your energy meter and then you dual wield, you go into like this slow motion mode.
Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know that I've
maybe
ever
that's what
done
they're
that.
talking about.
The hell, man.
You haven't done that?
No.
That's the best. Like
Nah.
that's
I-
kind of your go-to if like you get overwhelmed with a bunch of drones and you got guys coming at you on the street. You just pick up the second gun and everything slows down, and you can just.
I wondered why I couldn't pick up both guns. Maybe I didn't have enough. I wasn't full on my meter. I guess you say you have to be full. Is that what the case is?
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. What was the question?
You have to have your meters full to do, or you have to be full on energy or something.
Yeah.
Because I would run into times I'm like trying to grab my other gun, it wouldn't let me, and I'm like, why can't I grab this gun? And I'm watching other people do it on videos, and so apparently my timing was off, Wes.
So you'll notice when you pass the cars on the road that they have this little glowing energy field right next to them. You have to drive through those to power up your energy meter. And not only does that power up your energy meter, but it also keeps your score multiplier going. So every time you hit one of those, it's like you killed an enemy on your multiplier.
Okay.
And then after your energy meter gets full, you can dual wield, and everything slows down to a crawl, except for you, of course, your normal speed. But everything's slow around you, so you can really clear the level or the screen quickly with your dual wielding.
See, I was never going for the blue or purple next to the cars. I'd go underneath them. And I noticed the ones where it was like sideways, and I was like, why the fuck would I try to go through there in some weird sideways thing? But now it makes sense.
Yep. That's it. It's a challenge. It's risk reward. Let's see here. I was Matt Marjanovic asked, what can the second couch co-op player do in this again? Do they fight you or help you? They help you. They drive. They drive so that all that you have to do is shoot. They basically control the bike and where the bike goes.
How cool would it be if they did like somehow fight you in there? That'd be pretty cool too. I don't know how they would do that, but
yeah, I don't know. Take control of your own hand and shoot yourself in the face.
What if they could control some of the enemies? That would be pretty cool, actually. That would be actually a really good idea.
That. Yeah, put them in the boss fights.
Yeah, or even those other motorcycles. Like whatever's on the screen. That'd be pretty cool.
And now we're starting down the what if route, and it's going to end up where it always ends up, and that is that we need Road Rash in VR.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's coming someday.
Yeah, those of you who want Road Rash in VR should check out, what was that name we played on, that game we played on Steam with the zombies?
Oh, I can't remember.
Zombie shooter on the motorcycle. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do actually. That was actually really cool, and that was hard too.
Yeah.
That was another hard game. That was difficult to get through, but it was cool.
I feel like a douchebag because I can't plug this guy's game. It was really good.
Yeah, it was cool. See, this is why we need to mash here. It doesn't feel like Tron. Paradise Decay wants to know. I don't know if anything feels like Tron, but we want Tron. I want the old school arcade game Tron. That was a cool game. Can you imagine that in VR? That'd be pretty cool.
Does it make sense for a PS5, PSVR 2 gamer to invest in PCVR right now? So here, this is going to vary from person to person, and
I think so. For me,
yeah, Roots is going to tell you yes all day because he's going to tell
Mods.
you that mods, yes,
It's all about the mods, man. So I mean, if you have a
Yeah.
good enough video card, for sure. Like, why would you not want to do the mods, right? Like, those AAA games are phenomenal.
Well, the reason why is, well, I mean, yeah, if you have the PC already, then that's a no brainer. You should already have a PCVR headset. Should you build a PC
Mm.
for this? That's the question. Like, it's hard to justify spending thousands and thousands of dollars on it. It just depends on what that means to you. I mean, if you've got the money, sure, it's worth your time. You know, there's good stuff on PC. But for me, what happened is I started on PlayStation VR with all of these amazing games, and I spent thousands of dollars to build uh, a gaming PC within the first year. Um, and when I got there, it was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I've got another handful of games that I can play that are really good, but was it worth the thousands of dollars? I don't know, man. I was kind of underwhelmed when I went to PCVR at first. But again,
It's a different
now you have
world.
the mods.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different world
Now
now.
you have the mods. So it's completely different now.
Yeah.
So,
I was
so
the
it just
exact
depends.
opposite. I had my gaming PC already. I bought the Rift CV1 because I had just saw that it existed, and I was like, wow, this is cool, and already had the computer that could run it. And then when I went to PlayStation VR, I was underwhelmed, with the exception of, the really good bangers, but the tracking and the controllers were just shit to me. You know what I mean? So it was like it was exactly what you're talking about, but flipped. Um, so it just depends on what you come from, right? So
Yep, exactly. Depends on what your expectations are. It depends on uh, how much money that you have. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of variables here
here's one
that
reason
play into
why
it.
PCVR is worthwhile. And Wolfie kind of says it will come back with a vengeance. And there's thousands of games. There's so many games out there, so many more games than PlayStation VR 2. But I mean, just at the end of this month, Vertigo 2 is coming out. And that's probably going to be one of I guarantee at the end of the year, we're going to be talking about that game being contender for game of the year.
Probably.
If it lives up to it,
It,
Vertigo
if
remastered.
if I
So
can press the buttons on the virtual screens and
yeah,
make it through to the next room.
well, that was a demo, and I'm pretty sure that'll be fixed. But I think it will be. And there's other games like that are going to come out that are going to be PC VR only, content wise, and there's so much out there. But really, for the mods alone, if you're into AAA gaming, if you're into Hogwarts Legacy, if you're you can't get I can still, but you can't get into Red Dead 2. But there's still Cyberpunk 2077. There's so many amazing what was it, the one that Ryan Brandon was talking about, that the one he won on our show, the one where that's parkour, and I can't remember exactly what game it
What,
was.
Ghost Runner
Ghost
or
Runner
Neon
and
White?
Neon White, both of those are amazing. Like, there's experiences that you can't play on PlayStation VR 2 that are some of the best experiences, if not the best experiences I had last year, were all in mods. And so,
Yeah.
like, if you're into that, it's absolutely worth it. But as far as if you're going to be playing the same games as you're playing on this, then it wouldn't be worth it. So
Yeah, if you're if you're have the money for it and you're willing to play flat mods, that's the thing. If it weren't for the mods, then this wouldn't even really be a conversation,
at all.
because console gamers expect big budget exclusive games, and PC just doesn't have that anymore. I mean, you have the back catalog, which is pretty cool, but most of those are Oculus. They're not on Steam. Most of the great games are Oculus exclusive games. Um, I don't know. It's a conversation to be had. Some of the all-time great uh, VR games are PC VR exclusive. Games like Wilson's Heart, games like Stormland, Asgard's Wrath, and Half-Life Alyx. Those games are worth playing. But again, it's all a question of is it worth thousands of dollars? That's going to vary from person to person.
It's kind of like if you ask Rendered Reality about the Yaw 2, if it was worth. I mean, and then they would, or he'd say, yeah, it's worth it. But I mean, I don't know if thousands of dollars for Well, I don't have that kind of money. I would love to have
Right.
it, but
It'd
I
be
couldn't.
great.
I couldn't see doing it. So,
You know who can see doing it?
My mom!
oh yeah, she can.
Travel Man says, happy birthday, Spry. Thank you, Travel Man. Spry Guy says, Hell Road VR.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hell Road
definitely.
VR is the motorcycle zombie shooter that we were talking about a moment ago.
Yeah, yeah, super cool game. Definitely worth checking out on PCVR.
Paradise Decay says, I'm on the final biome of Returnal on PC. Worth getting a top end PC just for that pancake game. Yeah, except for, if it comes to PlayStation, then that whole thing gets turned on its head. But I agree, playing that in VR is it's going to be a special thing. I'm sure. PD's just doing it in Reshade. He couldn't even wait.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Well, I guess not crazy. A year ago, I'd been like all over Reshade. Now it's like I want the full blown experience. I can't wait to get in there, Wes. That game's so amazing flat. And I think people, because it's third person, and if that's the way that it is, which it's the way people should play it, just the scale, right? Because you're following it at the height of the person, and usually,
Yeah.
and so you're still going to be looking at this massive world. You're still in there. It's going to be amazing.
The world's just alive, man. This place is just teeming with life, and most of it will kill you.
Yeah, PD, we need you to show us how to play Wreckfest in VR. For sure.
Travel Man 3775 coming through with the 650 donation in remembrance of Dark Angel. Thank you, Travel Man. Yeah. Anyway, why don't we move on and talk about the next game, which is the game we played yesterday. You, me, and Mash got into a game of Demeo on PlayStation VR 2. And, we often talk about the console gaming experience and how you're just always able to pick the headset up, put it on, and play. But it took us like fucking 30 minutes to get in the game last night, didn't it?
Yeah, audio issues, man. And it really wasn't it was Eric's fault. It was just a setting.
It was Eric's fault.
Yeah, there was a setting that was switched on that he wasn't aware of, but we had no idea why he couldn't talk to us. We could hear him, or he could hear us. We couldn't hear him. So it was definitely not user friendly, but it was also user created. So
Yeah, there are settings in the PlayStation audio settings that you typically don't deal with on PC. One of them, it's weird. It's like it mutes your mic in game chat, but it doesn't mute your mic, so you can still talk in like a party outside the game, but it won't allow your mic to go to the game chat. And Mash had that toggled off. There's also another setting for those of you who stream out there. Everyone with a PlayStation has to enable to allow their voice to be shared on a broadcast. So if you join someone who's broadcasting from their PlayStation, streaming onto YouTube, and you can't hear any of the people that they're talking to, the reason why is because they haven't went into their audio settings and switched that on so that they can share their mic.
yeah, protection, right? Hey, man, I didn't authorize that. Well, you turned it on, motherfucker.
Anyway, Demeo. Roots, I feel like we're going to be saying a lot of the same things about Demeo that we were saying about Runner. You put the thing on, and all of a sudden, just super colorful, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Super colorful. Tracking issues from hell. No, that's weird that Radio Run says he has tracking issues. I really, honestly, that's one of the things that I have not noticed. But one thing I did notice by the dartboard was Mira, and we knew this was going to come up because Mash and I were like obsessed about it, and Wes is like, I kind of see it, but you guys, I don't know, like it just, well, this is the thing. Okay, so you look at the outside in the room, and you look at like the wall or whatever, like a certain color, you could see it or at least the more you looked at it, you could see it, but you're not supposed to be looking at the basement walls. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking at the board game and you're playing the game, you don't see anything except for the game, amazing colors, amazing animations. Like even the poison and everything, and the way everything is like oozing up, it just looked so cool and so good. Um, One thing I do take notice for almost every video that I'm watching of this of people play, because I tried to look at different ones to download. Like, am I the only person that like gets up in that bitch? Like, I zoom as big as I can and I get down there in the game. I'm like in on the board. My head is like down there with them, and the characters are pretty big. And then I see people that are playing it like a board game up top, and they're like this little character. Like one video, I couldn't even see the animations that was going on in the game. I'm like, I can't use this video. Like, it's very bizarre to me, because what you can do is you can grab the board and you can pull your hands away, and you actually make it bigger and you draw in closer, and so you can really see the details of everything going on. And I think that's the definitive way to play. I think anyway.
Yeah, I get pretty close. It's kind of in between because I do like to see the board so I can see what's coming and where we should be moving to. So I don't get down on ground level with it, but I do zoom in quite a lot. Um,
What
so
do you think about
everything.
the movement? Like as far as like the your character, right? Or not your character, but yourself.
The moving around is fine, and zooming in and out, that's all great. I hate the fucking turning in this game. I have always hated the turning in this game. I don't know why they won't just give us an option to turn with the thumbstick. Why? Why can't they do that? It's like rule number one of any VR game is give us stick turning. I've said it and said it and said it, but they won't do it. It's been out for years. There's still no stick turning in this game. And doing this thing here with your hands, even
Grabbing it
after
and
all
turning.
this time, it's never perfect. I always overshoot, overcompensate, have to turn back a little bit more, turn this way too much, turn back a little bit more, and basically I just end up having to settle for not being in the perfect position that I'd like to be in because I don't want to fight with the stupid turning mechanic anymore. I don't get it, man. I don't know why they won't just give us an option.
Yeah, options are good, and I only mentioned it because Wes mentioned it last night like 10 times. He was so like, because it just really does bother you. Like I don't even notice it. I just kind of grab and kind of turn it. But it would be nice. It would be nice, and it would be if they had it. That's how I would do it. Like, because I don't necessarily want to grab the table and turn it that way. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not an option. Maybe they'll add it, right?
Yeah, no, I've lost all faith in that at this point. If they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. I feel like so. Hopefully,
So
I'm wrong.
Sprite he says he hasn't played in a long time. He doesn't know if they implemented a new save system or not. Last time he played, you could only save after finishing a level. I don't know. Did they fix it to where you can save at any time, or I think it is only after you finish a level, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, I didn't try to save mid level. That would be weird. It'd be
That
hard for them to do, I would imagine.
that would be weird. And what's weird about it? And people tell me and or tell us in the comments or in the chat. I have not played a saved game yet. We've saved several times. We have a Dave Marsh save out there floating around, and I don't think we've ever gone back to a save because you
No.
just want to play a new one with somebody. It's almost, I don't want to say it's pointless because I'm sure there's people that use it, but I've never used it. I've saved several times. I've just never gone back.
Never finished it. Right. Yeah, same here. I've never went back and picked up a partial game and finished it.
It would be interesting to go back into a game and try to finish it because we would have no idea. Like I don't even know who's. Could you just take anybody with into a save game, or does it have to be the same people? I'm assuming anybody could join it. Whoever like has the master game, whoever was running it, that saved it would have be able to bring other people in, or I don't know.
That'd be interesting to test because
Yeah,
that would be a good way to bring in players when you start with three and want to bring in a fourth player. You just save your game and then come back right back into it.
wasn't that one thing that Mash was saying that they've implemented, or that like because we were supposed to play with Derail. And Derail actually he has to get up at 5 a.m. for work, so he fell asleep. So we ended up 3-personing it, But after we finished, Mash said, "Oh, one of us could have played 2 characters."
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, man, I didn't know that. Like we slummed it with 3 the whole time, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've been wondering when they're going to allow us to do this because you could always play skirmish mode, which lets you, you can play 4 players by yourself, and you're all 4. So I mean, it just makes sense that there would be options in place for no matter how many players they're actually playing, that you still get all 4 of your turns, which is pretty important. We came to find out last night.
Yeah, especially we tried to start. I think this was the one we tried to start with, right? This mode, whatever the newest one, and we got our asses kicked so quick with only 3 people, and I was like, I don't think we should be playing this with 3 people. So we switched to the first one again, and that's a little bit easier, but it was actually difficult still with 3 people, right?
Yeah, yeah. Before we get too far into it, I do want to point out Wonder Rob with the $5 US donation. Says, I also wanted to say that I love my beautiful friend Dark Angel. I miss her so bad, and I know that everybody does. We absolutely do. We absolutely do, and it's a tough time for a lot of people. Um, you know, it's tough because of what a special time this is for our community, and we all know that Dark Angel would just be in heaven right now, or I guess Dark Angel is in heaven right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like she would. We're also happy to have this new platform and all these new games, and Dark Angel was super excited for it. So the timing makes it even like harder uh, because we'd like to be able to share all this with our friend, and we can't. So absolutely, Wonder Rob, you're right. We all miss Dark Angel, and yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Traveling Man says you can play 2 players with 2 champions each, and that's the thing that I found with skirmish, and I'm assuming with 2 players, it goes a lot faster when you're just doing each move. When you have, even with 3 people, we were in there a while, right? Like I didn't realize till we got out how late it was. I was like, man,
Took
damn.
us about 2 hours. It took us about 2 hours to play that game. Um, so what Roots is saying is true. We played one of the newer maps to start with, and we just got destroyed immediately. Just destroyed, like within what, 10, 15 minutes we were done.
Yeah, it was
And
ridiculous.
and so we stopped and we said, we probably shouldn't be playing this with just 3 players. So I stopped and tried to invite somebody to join. We didn't want to wait for a response, so we just decided, what the hell, we'll go in and play it with 3 players again. So we tried a different map, and it was tough, man. Like at the end of every level, we were struggling. We had players that were down. Or every special card, every way that we could come up with to just stay alive. We tried, and we fought and scratched, and we managed to actually win the game with 3 players. It was not easy. There were multiple times that we got down to just 1 player um, alive and 2 on the ground, but we managed to make it, Roots, and it was so fun because it would have been so easy to make the wrong move 2 dozen times, right? And the game be over. But we took our time. We didn't get impatient. We thought it through, and we were able to make it out on the other end. And it made it exceptionally gratifying to win, right?
Yeah, and Wes found his new favorite character, and he never said it was his favorite character, but the way he was like using that chain and like slamming down on characters and pulling, I could tell that I would assume you like that character better than the rogue. The rogue is cool, but like your character was badass, dude. Like it's so many times like just jumping in the middle of group of people and just annihilating them. It was cool. It was cool to watch.
I love playing as the rogue. I love the stealth ability. I love being able to kind of operate on my own thing inside the map. The problem with that is that if you're only playing with a party of 3, you've got to have some kind of offense, man. You can't just be sneaking around. So the rogue is great, but you have to have 4 players in a fully balanced party to incorporate the rogue. With just 3, I decided that I needed to have something that can kick a little bit of ass, and that's why I chose the barbarian. And I really did like it. I liked it not just because it had cool attacks. My favorite thing about the barbarian is the freedom of movement you have. Like you can use that chain and move all over the place, dude. You can move halfway across the map in one move with that thing, and you can jump over walls. I mean, there's a lot more freedom of movement with it, and that's very useful in certain scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. I've tried a couple of other characters, but I just feel like I'm really good at the one I run, the wizard guy. And because there's a lot of people that need to be stunned or whatever, and he's just got a lot of I like his cards. I just like him, and he's got a beard. So
Yeah, there you go. All right. Anyway, Roots, let's talk about differences with PlayStation VR version of Demeo versus the Quest or even PC versions. I think visually it's very similar to the PC version, right? I mean, they look very similar. The difference being the screen, obviously, the OLED screen makes it pop a little bit. But in terms of what the game's doing, pretty much on par with PC VR version, right?
yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, I couldn't see any real difference graphically. I mean, I just thought it looked phenomenal. The colors obviously are better, but that's the theme of every PlayStation VR2 game. And I did notice, like I was telling Mash, I got up and really up close, and I was like, you can really see on my guy the mask that he's wearing. And I know the Quest version, you can't really see it very well. The PC I felt like it really popped a lot more, maybe just because of the color of it or whatever, but it was really the detail. This game is it's just really good if you like this type of game. And it definitely, I can't think of anything that the PC version has over this one. So,
Right. And as was the case with Runner before, the real, the most significant difference comes in the fact of, or in the form of haptic feedback, right? Because you can feel everything. You can feel the dice hit the board, every move every player makes, all of the special attacks, all of it gets its own kind of sensation in your hands. And they did a pretty good job here of making the controllers feel like what you think that they should feel like, right?
yeah, even somebody drinking a flask, like a health healing flask, you could feel it. It was like, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're not going to review Demeo. Everyone knows what we think about it. I will say that this version, now that they've had all these updates and all these new characters, this feels like a complete game now, right? Like it was kind of like it was a bit abbreviated when it first launched with 4 characters and just the one story and then 2. But now, how many different books is it? Is it like 4 or 6 you have to choose from?
I think it's 4 now. I think, and they've added 2 or 3 characters, actually 3 or 4 characters. Because the last time I played with the barbarian and some other chick that I never knew existed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think there's 8. I think there's 8 you can choose from now, and you started with 4, and or maybe there's 5 books now that you can choose from, and the 4 characters got added in to make it 8.
I guess Radio Runt will let us know here in a second if he's still out there, because he's the
for sure.
That was the thing. We were thinking 2 things. Radio Runt, you should have been with us, and then we thought, man, Radio Runt would have been proud the way that and like Wes said, there was so many choices. Like just the fact Mash put that barricade down and the healing statue, and that alone with the last boss saved us in so many ways, because it was attacking that barricade. The healing thing was healing the barricade. Like there was just so many cool moments where our decisions just lined up perfect, and we just slid through, because I thought we were done 2 or 3 times, especially when we get down to, like you said, where we were, like you and I were down and Mash was trying to get with the key, and And I was like, damn, dude, like just so many things coming against us, but we finished it. We got it done, and we did it with 3 people.
So yeah, Mark Pringlesleaf said it was 5. That's correct. So you had the 1 original, and then they've had 4 free DLCs added in since then, each with a new level and a new character. So that's for a total of 8 characters and 5 different levels that you can play through. My point being that this is a complete game at this point, and what is it, like $30 for this thing?
I think so. And if it's $30, it's well worth $30. If you like this type of game, there's no other game like it. You know what I mean? It's a strategy game. It's a game that you're playing with your friends. It's a game where, like, even though you got your character, you can do your move. Everybody's still working together, right? And we were sitting there discussing all this, like, no, do this. Maybe we should do this. Oh wait, if you do that, this is going to happen.
Okay, it's $40. It's $39.99.
Well, at that price, it's definitely still worth it. I just think this game is phenomenal. And like I said, if you like these type of games, I'm not a big board person type of game, or board game type of person rather. But this game is like, I mean, obviously it's a board game, but it's so much more. It's what you would want. You want to watch that, just the animations alone. And then the little comments that they always make, it's just really good. It's done super well, and they're constantly still adding to it, right? That's why it's worth $40, because they're not going to stop at 5 books. Now, they might charge for DLC at some point, kind of like Walkabout or something. But if they do, it'll be worth it, because each one of these game modes is phenomenal. It's a 3 to 4 hour campaign with your friends every single time. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all very different too in how they play. They all have their own unique enemies, and
Bosses.
when you get to the boss level is always very different, and it's something that you always have to kind of figure out how to approach. So yeah, this game is just excellent. It's a must own. I feel like no matter what platform you're playing on, obviously PlayStation VR2 is the best platform to play it on because of the haptics and things that really set it off. The PC is very close as well, and it's great on Quest. So, and here's another cool thing: is people can play it flat too, and it's all cross-play. Everyone plays together. So,
Yeah, even if you don't
yeah.
have PlayStation VR2, you can play with your PlayStation VR2 friends, and they can tell you how the haptics are better and how the colors pop, and you'll be like slumming it.
You say if this is your type of game, um, I don't think I've ever heard someone that played it was like, you know what, not my thing.
No,
Everybody loves it.
that's true. And the thing is there probably are people out there that are like, I'm not into this type of game. Hey, you got a 2-hour window. I mean, well, unless you play it on PlayStation. That's the one thing that sucks about PlayStation as far as buying
Yes.
games, is you don't have that 2 hours to try it. But it's definitely worth $40 all day. So
There are some demos, however. I wonder if this is one of those games that had demos. I'm sure someone will let us know in the comments.
that would be pretty smart, right? Just to like let you play one level of skirmish. The first level of the first map, get to the end, and it's like, okay, hey, you just earned all this gold, and here's the cards you would be able to buy, but you can't because you don't own it. So
Well, that makes sense. At first I was thinking, well, they don't really need to give away a whole level, but then if you limit it to skirmish mode, then
yeah,
I can see that.
yeah, you
Level
got
in skirmish mode.
yeah. Then you could try out all the characters. You could replay that one level and check it out and see how much you like it. And I guarantee I had so much fun playing that skirmish mode, and I never really thought that I would. You don't want to play with people. You want a quick game. You want to try out different characters. You can go in there and play by yourself and play all 4 characters.
Practice.
Yeah,
And
practice.
you do need practice to get good at this game. It's not something you're going to pick up and be good right off the bat unless you're just a natural. Like typically, inexperienced players have to lean on the advice of experienced players pretty heavily. And then after you die a bunch of times, eventually you stop and you start having some success.
It makes me think of the first time we played with Mateo. And that's pretty much what, because he knew what was going on. He was like, no, do this, do that. We were kind of leaning pretty heavy on him.
Yeah, that's right. Teeks419 says this does not have a demo. Okay,
Bummer.
thank you very much.
That would definitely be a good move for the devs to put in a little a demo, like we just said, a skirmish. Let them play the first level of the first game, map, and just skirmish it, and then literally let them get to that place where you can buy stuff. Show them the cards that you can buy and the gold and all that, and then say, "Hey, we glad you tried out our game. Now buy it."
These are all updates that they should put in immediately after they add smooth turning.
Yes, yeah, we need smooth turning for sure, and then you can work more. No more expansions till you get that smooth turning.
Yeah, smooth turning and spectator mode. These are the two things that I've been asking for since the day the thing launched.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
let me turn with my sticks and let me invite people in who don't have to play, that can just hang out and talk to me.
yeah, because they can hang out in the room, right, until you start the game.
Yep.
So why not just let them sit there and watch it?
Like if Forever Pool can pull it off, I'm confident Resolution Games can pull it off for Demeo.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this: the cards looked really good, but they don't have anything on Light Brigade cards, man.
No, they absolutely do not.
Light Brigade cards are so amazing, but everything about this game is just really cool. So I would recommend, if you don't own this game, to buy it, pick it up, and then hit us up. We'll go in there and play it if we have a chance. It'd be cool.
Absolutely. Discord invitation in the link down below. Hit us up. Let's play Demeo.
Mr. Lord Beavis says there's a PvP mode coming. That would be interesting.
That's true. That is true. Good call, Beavis.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that ensures that we will once again be returning to Demeo one day. How many times have we covered Demeo now? This is like 4 or 5 times that we've done a segment on Demeo, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those times that was one. Sometimes I don't feel like going into a VR game or whatever, but whenever this comes up, I'm like, I'm ready to go in and hang out with people and play, even though it takes so much time. And that was another thing that I found out when I started the game. My controllers were already down to like 2 bars, and I just plugged it one into into my USB, and just while I was playing, I charged it until full, and then I swapped to the other one, charged it till full, and then I was good. So anybody that says you can't charge your controllers while you're playing is lying.
You're a liar. I watched like 15 videos that said you can't do that, Ruuts.
You can't do it. Maybe you shouldn't, but and it was fast. You said like full charge in 30 minutes or something. So at least for a game like this, granted, you couldn't do it with Beat Saber or Synth Riders or something where you're swinging your arms around, but if you're sitting there anyway, it was really easy.
So for those of you who are saying bullshit, I'll just like to say that I can concur. I tested this myself, as did Eric. You can charge the controllers and play at the same time. These are falsehoods these people are spouting out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on from Demeo. I think everyone knows we recommend this game even at $40. It's only $8 per book. You know what I mean? That's pretty damn awesome when you consider it, and all of the replayability and good times with friends and just the overall quality of the game. It's super polished. It's one of the best games in VR, and everyone should own a copy of it.
Every game changes, and every game's like 3 or 4 hours, man. That's like, think about how much value we've gotten already just from what we've played, which is crazy.
You think people should, if they already own it on another platform, it's worth dropping another 40 to get on PlayStation?
I convinced Radio Runt, as right when it dropped, he's like, dude, what's the point? I said, dude, you don't realize how good this looked, the colors and everything else. And he's like, damn it, Ruuts, I just bought it. I think it's worth picking up again. You don't have to, but it's definitely the best way that I played it so far. So,
well, if you're someone who plays it regularly, maybe like if you're someone who's just like a casual that picks it up once every month or two, probably not worth buying again. If you're someone who's playing this once a week, once every other week, yeah, because if you're like me, I don't want to put any other headset on right now. All I want to do is play my PlayStation VR 2. So that means if Demeo is not in my PSVR 2 library, then I'm not playing Demeo. So, yeah, in that context, it does make sense. But for most people, I'd say you're good just to stick with it on whatever platform you've got it on.
Well, and it depends on, you've got other headsets. Do you have friends that come over and play, or do you have a significant other, somebody else that could jump in and play with you? That alone, you have two headsets, two different, it's all cross play, so you can play together, right? So,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Remember when it wasn't a given that PlayStation was going to support crossplay in the title?
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Well, now it makes it easier. And that was one of the things that Wolvie's been screaming at the top of his lungs about uniformity in VR and why it's important, right? Like if you have games that are all uniform as far as schematics or controls and all that with a joystick, it makes it easier and more likely for crossplay. And I mean, why would you not? Like in 2023, you kind of everything needs to be crossplay between all the platforms, at least if it's multiplayer. Um, it just does. It's so good that that's the case, right?
Yeah, agreed. People were talking about Zenith in chat. I forgot about Zenith. We haven't even looked at that yet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Actually, there was somebody that just was talking to me about that. Right? I said something about it on Twitter, and they were saying about how different, have I been into it lately, and that there was a lot of different. And somebody else was also, I think it was Derail, was telling me that the changes have really changed a lot. And so I told the guy on Twitter, well, I guarantee we're going to be going in there to talk about it in the near future at some point. So I will be getting back into it. So
Yeah, very soon. I would say within probably within a month. We'll get to that one.
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, before we get to that, why don't we get to the main course, the star of the show, the main event, if you will, Star Wars: Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. This is one of those games, Roots, that you got mixed reviews on Quest. Amazingly, we thought it was kind of underappreciated on Quest. Like people weren't giving it the credit that it deserved. Even some people said that Vader Immortal was better than this, and we didn't see it. We enjoyed our time in it. We've covered this game pretty thoroughly within the last 6 months, I want to say. But here we are again, as it has come over to PlayStation VR 2 in the form of the Enhanced Edition. We've heard a lot. There's been a lot of fanfare for this game from reviewers specifically, talking about how much better it is on PlayStation VR 2 than it is on Quest. It's of course supporting improved graphics and character animations. I mean everything. Lighting's better. There's more detail in the textures. There's more resolution, and importantly, they have enacted advanced haptics and adaptive triggers. So coming into this Roots, I've actually had pretty high expectations for it, just based on what people were saying about it. I mean, we've literally heard people say, "I hated this game on Quest. Now I love it. It's one of my favorite games on PlayStation VR 2." I mean, those are pretty strong words, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Skiva was saying that his plan was to going into every bunch of different games for 15, 20 minutes, and he ended up getting stuck on this and wanting to play through the whole thing. That's a big deal too, right? So
Absolutely. Now, with that said, I feel like I let these people kind of overhype my expectations for it a little bit, because while it is noticeably better for me on PlayStation VR 2, I mean, it's not like a whole new game, right? It's still the same game, isn't it?
yeah, it is. But I mean, I guess if you didn't like it on Quest, like much at all, maybe you might be more blown away in that respect. You're like, wow, all these things add to it. But yeah, it's the same game. It's the same story, same gameplay. I mean that again, the colors. the Earth in the beginning. I was like, damn, dude, that looks really good. I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
space look that good, or Earth. Um, Clarity, everything was amazing. But it definitely, I don't know why, it's definitely not a night and day difference. Like the Quest version is way down there, and I have to
Right.
say this because I say it every time. Like Vader Immortal for me was I even said it when we initially played the first one. I was like not that. I was like with Main Fan and Alex. I was just like I didn't love it like everybody else did. Um, it was good, the dojo, but the dojo, I just felt like this is 100 times better than Vader Immortal because this is
Yeah.
an actual story. And where it did shine for me the most was I felt like I legitimately was in a cartoon movie of Star Wars, and that tells me a lot as far as production wise. So
Yeah. Yeah. This is a game, and Vader Immortal really wasn't. So, no, don't get me wrong. I actually liked Vader Immortal. It was flawed. There were valid criticisms of it, but I enjoyed my time in it. It's nowhere near as good as Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
no, and
Not even close.
I was thinking about this about Main Fan, how he was saying that, and it deservedly it deserved to be said. A game, if you can't die, it's not really a game. And this game, like even on normal, I die all the fucking time, man. There's stuff shooting at me from different directions. I don't even know. 2 or 3 shots and you're dead. And I'm like, are you kidding me again?
Play on hard.
No, I played on normal.
Yeah.
Hard is just too hard, man. Normal is hard enough on this game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm going to play on hard. That's what I've been playing on, and that's what I'm about to play on some more. Um, I found, you know how I play Roots. Like I'm a very conservative, right? So when I played through this game on Quest, like I kept collecting all these health upgrades and all of these little remote droids, and I just kept them all in my inventory and never really used them. So now that I'm going back in, I'm playing on hard, and I'm just using the stuff that I'm finding now instead of just hoarding all of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. That backpack is like Hermione's bag or something. It's like you can just throw everything in there, and it seems like it never fills up, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Fluke Rogi in the chat joining us. Welcome, Princess. Galaxy's Edge was a surprise to me. I abandoned it on Quest, but have been enjoying it on PSVR too. See, this is the thing, man. Is people are digging this game on PSVR 2 from the get go. And the really good news about it is the second half of the game is markedly better than the first half. So if you like this, like if you're playing the demo or you just bought it and played the first like couple hours of it and you think it's good, it's going to get way better.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool.
All right. So what I'm going to let you do here now, Roots, so we don't waste too much time here. I'm going to go ahead and get switched over, get the game booted up, get my microphone and headphones switched over, and while I'm doing that, I'm just going to let you kind of carry on with the chat. If you guys have any questions about Tales from the Galaxy's Edge and on PlayStation VR 2, just go ahead and put them in the chat right now, and I'll be back with you within 5 minutes, Roots, to give you the cue to switch over.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing things we've never done before. Fluke Rogi says he agrees with Wes playing on hard. The remote droids are actually useful then, which is true. I don't know. It is so hard though. Like for me anyway, I'm not good about using cover, and that's the biggest thing. And I also run in willy nilly, and the next thing I know, there really are things shooting from all directions. But maybe I might have to rethink it and play hard. But it's definitely 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 hard. Wonder Rob, Fluke Rogi. Okay, do you recommend that I rebuy it on PlayStation VR 2? Well, from what he just said, I would say so. It's an expensive game though. It's like $50. So you'd have to really like it. If you enjoyed it on the Quest, I think it's way better. And we haven't even gotten into the adaptive triggers, how the guns feel. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that as Wes is playing here. But it was definitely remarkably better for sure with the haptics and the adaptive triggers. So, but I know for me, I probably will actually end up. I didn't play through it all on the Quest version, like Wes and Eric did. I just read somebody's comment. Okay, Galaxy's Edge would surprise me. I banned it on Quest. Okay, that was not what the. Okay, here it is. This is literally nothing different than a few graphical upticks. You all are picky bitches. Laugh out loud, Wolf Raza. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It was definitely there's a lot. It's a lot better on PlayStation VR 2. I don't know if you enjoyed it, Wolfie, but it does. It looks a lot better. The haptics, the triggers, and one thing that I will say that I was put off about it, and this is any game in 2023. Like I was running around trying to touch plants and stuff, and there's no real physics. But that's not really, I guess that's the future of gaming. But, you know, we're getting to a point where you expect to be able to, you know, hit the leaves and have them move. They didn't move. My hand went right through them. So. Yeah, I would wait for a sale. Flame hat, the game cat, for sure. $50 is a lot of money. $50 to pay for a game that you already own. So, especially if you have access to it. And I don't know if you've played through the entire thing, but like I said, I have not. So, Wolf Raza says he's played through fully twice. He's going to play a third round because Mando season 3. Yeah, this is the thing. Wolfie, I've never played Mandalorian or watched The Mandalorian, but people rave about it. Is it any good? That's my question. Of course, I don't watch TV. I don't watch any shows. I used to watch Survivor, and I don't know. I've thought about going back and watching the last couple seasons because that I've missed, but they just started getting weird on that show, man. Like stopping tribal council for weird things. And then Jeff, he used to say, "Come on in, guys," to everybody. And I can't say that anymore because, we might offend somebody. Well, I hate to break it to people, but that's using the word guys has been used for generations as everybody. Come on in, everybody. But the world's weird, and Survivor got weird too. So Mando was brilliant. Okay. Well, I've heard from several different people that I respect that The Mandalorian is awesome. It's got Baby Yoda. Who doesn't love Baby Yoda? Yeah, I agree, Mark. It would be good to have Star Wars VR game with characters from the films. I think at some point we're going to see all of that stuff. I was thinking about this today. I want Back to the Future. I want to travel around time like in Wanderer, but I want to be Marty McFly. I said it. You can be Doc. I'll be Marty. We'll go on an adventure. Or a really cool Rick and Morty game. Because the Rick and Morty game that we have that exists, all it made me want to do is go on an adventure. And I got to sit back and watch them take off while I did all the fucking bullshit work for them. All the chores. It's not fair. Luke and Leia. Yeah, I think that they could do it. I think they're going to, at some point, as long as the stories are good and the gameplay is amazing. That's one of the reasons why I want to check out that mod. Was it the Jedi Outcast or Out something? I don't know. Definitely want to check that out as well. Yeah, Back to the Future would be amazing. I want to go 88 miles per hour, yo. Actually, I have a soundbite for that. I could put on the Go XLR, but nah. I feel like it's quiet. Where's Mash? Mash, are you still out there? Are you sleeping? Yeah, that's a good question, Mind Jive. I'm hoping Squadrons comes to PlayStation VR 2. I think it would be amazing. I've got my HOTAS. The HOTAS is definitively the best way to play that game, although it was very weird to set up, at least for me. But I think PlayStation would have it all set up and ready to go. But it was definitely amazing. It changed everything. You wouldn't think it would, but that.
So, can you hear me, Roots?
I can. I don't
Alright,
think.
cool. Check 1, 2.
Oh yeah.
Guys, let Roots know in the chat if any of the audio sounds weird here after we switch over. And looks like my levels look pretty good. All right, I think we're good to go, Roots. Anytime that you want to kill your stream. Guys, listen, Roots is going to stop the stream from his computer, and it's going to look like the stream's down for a minute for you. But it's not. We're coming right back. As soon as I start to see the wheel turn, I'm going to start streaming from my computer.
Yep. So don't leave. And before I leave, Old Darth, my PlayStation VR 2 is full of color, says there's a DeLorean and GT7. Oh my God. Now we really got to go play that. I'm going to race it, and I'm going to be in Back to the Future, and I'm going to have a flux capacitor.
Yeah, PD just did a video about that, actually.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to hit stop on the stream. So like Wes said, you're going to see a spinning circle for about 5 to 10 seconds. Don't worry. We'll be back, and Wes will be in the game, and we will continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it now.
Oh, and we should be back. Yeah. All right. I think we're back. So we did it. All right. So we're in the game. I can't see exactly what YouTube sees right now. I guess I probably could if I wanted to check it. Yeah. Oh, I know what's up. I know what's up. Hold on. Boom. How's that? Yeah. It should be good now. Yeah. Sweet. We did it. We actually did it. All right, so that's right. And the only downside is that since this is a PlayStation game, I'm not going to be able to see what's happening in chat. But that's what my good friend Roots is here for. He's going to be the mediator for all of you. You can't hear Roots. Let's see, because we had this set a minute ago, so it was working. Let me see here. So maybe I need to reset the desktop audio setting. Hold on, because I can hear you through my headphones, so it should be here too. Audio. Yeah, that's what it is. I just need to switch that over to in-video broadcast. Apply. Or say something now.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear my velvety voice now. Maybe. Theoretically.
I can turn you down a little bit, but yeah, you're coming through.
All right, we did it. We did it again.
We really did do it this time.
Indeed, we did. All right, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, guys. Again,
as
I was saying,
they couldn't hear me, Wes. Remember, I talked so much crap about everybody while you couldn't hear me. Be surprised.
I've got it on tape, so I'm gonna black.
Oh God, no! Please don't. Silky.
Let me get my hands on straight. I don't know how to do that correctly yet. We're almost there. There we go. Recenter. And why am I sideways? Recenter.
Wonder Rob says, Chi-Town D, hey, I didn't see you till now. Hey, cool person. She is cool, huh?
It's weird, like it's recentering off to the side.
Well, that is kind of weird. Well, look at how good that video feed looks, so much better.
I bet it should look really good, actually.
It does. Who's your favorite character, Wes? Is it the little blue guy? Is it the bartender?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I guess it would probably be the bartender so far in the game.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys where I'm at right now. I'm almost to the end of the first part. So we're not starting from the beginning here. We're starting I've probably got 2 or 3 hours in at this point, and we're nearing the end of the first part before the DLC.
Okay. Well, people are talking, Wes, about Tony Hawk in VR, and Diego Darko VR says, "I spent my teenage years kicking ass in Skate 1, 2, 3. Very hopeful that VR Skater proves how good a skate in VR could be." I don't know. So far, I have not seen a good adaptation of skating in VR, and I think I would almost rather somebody mod Tony Hawk or one of those games into VR, because those games are amazing. There's so much to it, and I feel like so far the skateboarding games, they're not
Get you out of the way of those blaster bolts.
feels like to me like garbage. I hate to be that way about it, but I'm hoping somebody brings a real skateboarding game out.
You know, the differences, some of the differences in this game are subtle. Most of them are subtle, actually, but the overall effect, I feel like,
Gameplay, the game audio is a little too high, GB says. Fuzzy Game Cat. Sorry to interrupt you.
Fix that. Just a second. So, anyway, what I was saying, I think one of the, although the differences in the game, like this version of the game versus the other, are subtle differences, they add up to make a pretty profound difference in overall realism. Like, this game feels more real now. Like, the characters seem more realistic. They seem like they have life in their eyes. When you look at the droid, it looks like it's a real droid right out in front of you, which is kind of the point, right? That's why we're playing in VR. You want to feel like you're really there. And I feel like most of the differences in this game serve to do just that.
Okay. So I think I agree. I agree 100%. I think the audio is good now. I know GB, the Buzzy Game Cat, says it's still too loud, and then said good. Virtual Waypoint says perfect. Your Schnuff says good, better. I think you're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I turned it down in OBS. It sounds good to me in my ear right now. So.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. There was an extra gun here. Now, one thing I wish I could do is carry more guns, which I guess that's something you can upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Carry more later.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you're constantly switching guns, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing people's guns as they drop them, and using them, and then grabbing another one. I was saying in between while you were switching things over, one of the things I was kind of disappointed, and it's not. I mean, the game is what it is. It was developed when it was, but we're starting to get to a point now where, like, I should be able to try to run my hands through the foliage and move them, and I did that, and it went through, and it's just one of those things that you forget because we're so far down the road with games these days, that when my hand goes through things that it shouldn't, it's like, no, I shouldn't be able to do that.
It's because it's a Quest game. It's because it's an adaptation of a game that was built for Quest.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't change anything. It's still an amazing game, but
It's just something you notice, right? So I certainly noticed it too.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of my favorite parts of playing this on PlayStation VR, is using this multi-tool. Feels so cool.
So good. It does. Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the, which is kind of ironic, it's one of the better adaptations of the Rumble, kind of reminding me of that Astrobot game I was recommending to that girl today. You know, it's one of the reasons why it blew me away, is the way things felt like they should in real life. And when I used that tool for those bolts, I was like, wow, that feels like real. You know, like, it just felt good.
Yeah, all three functions feel like you would think that it should feel.
Paradise Decay says, tell Wes to use the Force, and you know who else likes it when you use Force. Man, PD is just on it with the my moms, right?
Yeah, he's the all-star when it comes to my mom at this point.
Virtual Waypoint wants to know, does the shotgun in this have the same haptics as in RE8?
No, it's different, but because this isn't like the weapons in this game are particle beam energy weapons. They're not gunpowder weapons. So the differences in how they feel are about what you would expect them to be. Now, with that said, it's still like amazing. Like this is one of the better games that I've tried so far with regards to gun haptics and triggers. Like, you know what my favorite thing is, Roots, is that the gun starts to behave differently as it overheats, and you can feel that, man. It starts to get real janky in your hands, and you can feel that jank, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Does this
I'll show you
use
what I mean in a
foveated
minute.
rendering for this?
I don't know. I don't notice it. You guys should be able to tell.
Well, that's
Like
what I was
through
gonna
the
say,
social
because
screen.
when you have a when one of those orbs that you have, that the things that you're having help you, when it's off to the side, it just looks a little bit different than it does when it's been flies in front of you. So it just made me think that foveated rendering is being used.
Yeah, that makes sense. The social screen actually reflects. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. I don't know actually if it does or not. There's one way that you can capture that shows the foveated rendering, and then there's another way that doesn't. And I'm not sure which is which.
Okay. Sure Schnuff says, I love the overheating mechanic, and limited durability gives you a surprise element in combat. Yeah, it sure does. When I go up and I try to shoot somebody and my gun stops working, I'm like, oh my god, I got, I'm like throwing it away, grabbing another one. It absolutely does. It surprises you. And that's why, I mean, there's so many guns everywhere, because that's one of the things I love about this game, and I can't stand about so many others. Like, if I kill somebody and they're shooting me with a gun, guess what they left behind when they're dead? The fucking gun. It's still there. You know what I mean? Like, and if it just disappears, it's not cool. I'd rather it just drop, and if I can grab it and use it, that's amazing. I think that's smart to me.
You know, one of the things that do stick out in this game is the distant scenery. I don't know if it comes across, but it's kind of blurry. But when I started thinking about that, it was absolutely the same on Quest. Like it's always been like that. So I started to say, well, here's another example of PSVR 2 being blurry in the distance, but that isn't fair in this case, actually, because that's just how the game is.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is I actually earlier didn't say it, but I was thinking this is like looks just like it does on PC, but it doesn't exist on PC.
Yeah.
Man, you don't get this kind of graphics on in this game, right?
How long do you think before we get our PC version of this?
Hopefully soon, you would think. I mean, I was shocked it didn't come out before, but I mean, I guess they were focusing on this enhanced version, right? So why would they not? It's gonna be coming to PC, so it might be a bit though. I mean, they've been still getting this out, but this is definitely the best version of it for sure. Oh, PD said he just checked, and this game does use foveated rendering and eye track.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh crap, run away.
I wish the jetpack was a real jetpack though. How cool would that be? I feel like I'm playing Clover Saves the Universe all over again. Think we'll get a sequel to, well, maybe not, because Justin Roiland's done with that series, right?
Justin Roiland's done, period, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say everybody's done, period, and then all of a sudden they bring them back, Who was it that
like, he has offended me greatly.
yeah, who was it that that got busted? James Gunn, or was that what his name was for the like some pedophilia or
I don't keep
something,
up
right?
with people.
and then he left for a while, and then they brought him back. And it's like, oh, okay.
Oh crap! See, that's the thing about playing on hard. Like they shoot you twice before you even know there's an enemy around, and you got to start all over again.
Yeah, see, I'm not big on dying. I actually this happened a lot today, Wes. Like I said, I really wasn't joking about dying a lot, and it was kind of bugging me. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm dead again." I mean, I guess it should make me play differently, but then I would just run in and die again. I'm like, what are you doing, Roots? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't that Rick and Morty guy get busted for being a pervert? Yeah, that's the thing. Run to Rob, he did. But in 2023, nobody gives a shit about anything like that. Actually, will probably get you promoted these days. They swap people out. They take people out for a little bit, and then they bring them back in like 6 months later, and then nobody says anything. You know, there was the Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
Think about
Yeah.
Mike Tyson for a minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like
true.
Mike Tyson is a convicted rapist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people will condemn, other people for abusing women, but everybody loves Mike Tyson.
Yeah, who doesn't love Mike Tyson? Just his voice. So is checkpoint saving only? Old Darth says.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think you can quit and it'll save, but I don't think it'll just let you save anywhere. I think it is checkpoint based.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolvie says I would prefer they backtrack and make the last episode and skip the PCVR version, start the roadmap of 3 episodes and kill last one. Yeah, I don't think that. Unfortunately, that's not. I don't see that happening. There's just too. Although, I mean, PCVR doesn't have the biggest amount of people playing, so they maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Holyfield doesn't like Mike Tyson's spray. Guy says he got a piece of his ear. That's true. How crazy was that, too?
Yeah, I was watching that live. It was crazy.
That was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Wonder Rob says, well, I might as well be a pervert myself then. Nah, truly. And then it says, nah, truly, I respect ladies. I agree. This is the thing is, like, I don't care if it gets people ahead. I still have to, I got to sleep at night. I still got to be right with God. So I
Here's
can't.
the thing. I totally have the utmost respect for ladies, especially the super hot ones.
Yeah, I love those ones. You know who else loves those ones? She gets around.
All right, where's my jetpack? There we go.
So how are the colors looking in there? That green looks very, very
It's great.
vibrant.
It's great, man. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Don't shoot me. I don't want to die again. I could totally see myself being in one of those situations where I play the same, like, part of the level over and over again.
Because you keep
Because I'm
dying?
playing on hard.
Yeah, well, that's how you roll, man. That's why I go normal. Sometimes I'm tempted to go easy, and then I hear Wes's voice in my head scolding me, and I'm like, man, I can't play this on easy, bro. Like, I have to at least play on normal.
I smudge my lenses, Roots. It's driving me nuts. Might have to stop a minute and wipe them.
Yeah. I
Here's the
can't
cool
stand
thing
that.
about those. You can actually wipe your lenses without taking the headset off with this headset.
Yeah, isn't that? Well, didn't you do that last night? Then you, or
I
was
did.
that Mash? Somebody did.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, that was you. I like the pouch too. Like, how many games do we have where the backpack's on your shoulder and it just doesn't? It's hard to get stuff in and out sometimes, but that pouch right on your chest, it makes it really easy. There we go.
Hit him. Not letting these douchebags sneak up on me this time, Roots.
Yeah, that's good advice there. See, the only thing I don't like about those drones that help you is when they get damaged. I don't have time to repair you, bro.
Oh,
I'm
that's one of
sorry
my-
you got damaged. You're just gonna have to die and I'll get a new one. I'm not stopping and pulling out my electric wand and trying to shock you back. And you fucked up. Like, why am I
That's one
trying
of
to
my favorite
rescue
things,
you? You got
actually.
shot. It's your fault, not mine.
One of my favorite things actually is that you get to fix those things instead of having to use new ones.
Well, my thing is I need to adjust my belt, and I found that out today because I was trying to grab that tool,
crap.
and I was playing seated, tried to grab the tool, and it was too low, and it was a real pain in the ass every time I wanted to grab it. So it made me very upset when I had to use it. I'm like, man, this is really pissing me off.
You stand up or play seated?
I was playing seated,
Yeah,
so
me too.
but I mean that's I can only go by my own experience. That's why I don't think the walking treadmill thing's ever going to be a thing. If I go by my own preferences and and look around in society and say people are so fucking lazy that they don't even want to stand, but you want them to walk on a treadmill. It sounds good in theory, and I was there 5 years ago thinking this is cool, and now I've realized that it's just never going to take off because people they don't even want to stand, Wes, and you're expecting them to run on this treadmill. No, it's the same thing as playing a game where I'm constantly, like certain games like Eric and I have said, where you're not going to want to be swinging your arm a million times. You know, sometimes just hitting a button's a good thing. So
Where can I go? We go. Drop it.
Wonder Rob says, I played Thumper till level 6-3 or so, and I could not progress because it got way too difficult. That game was actually pretty crazy.
Thumper's tough.
Yeah,
Fun,
exercise in VR is great, but I'm talking about, okay, so you're playing a game that's got so much walking in it, say Zenith or whatever. You're really going to be you know, I get off of work, I walk all day. I don't want to be walking all day in a game either. Again, it sounds good in theory. It sounds good immersion wise, and I'm sure some people would do it. I just think most people won't. There's a reason why Wally was made, because people are lazy, and that's a potential future. Is people get so fat and lazy that they don't even want to think robots have to do everything for them, right?
Well, let me pick this piece of stuff up.
Yeah, you
sucks.
don't need it.
It's money,
Apparently.
bro. We need it.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm taking it. I don't think you are, Wes. It does not look like you're able to get that. Oh, there you
Got
go.
it.
Never mind. Wes is like, I'm getting this son of a bitch.
I wish I could collect all these guns and go take them and sell them. Like, I can sell all this scrap metal and make money, but all of the 1,000 firearms that are on the ground, those are just worthless, I guess.
What do you do with the money?
Buy upgrades, yo.
Yeah, I didn't get as far as you guys.
You didn't play to the workshop?
I'm sure I did, but it's been a while. I definitely didn't finish the game. When you and Mash were racing to finish it months ago, I was like, no. I was telling D-Rail today, I have a hard time finishing games. You know,
do too.
I just get to a point where I just don't want to play anymore. And it's hard. It depends. I mean, it's got to be a really good game for me to want to finish it. I'm not saying this isn't a good game, but
yeah, that's the thing. I'm the same way. I don't often finish games. So when you hear us talking about one that we finished, it's typically because it's very good. Got some more of these berries here. So we're collecting. So not only are we out here trying to recover the crashed freighter and the lost merchandise, but the bartender wanted us to get some ingredients to make a drink with, and if we bring them to him, he'll tell us a special story, he says.
yeah,
So you gotta be
yeah.
on the
Well,
lookout for
special. Who
this stuff.
doesn't love special stories, right?
Grab it. Use shit. I think it's because, you remember I told you coming in that the thing was out of center? I think that's why it won't let me grab this stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not really, you're close to it, but you're not really close to it, apparently. The most valuable junk are the spoons in the cantina, Black Market Honey says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. On settings, adjust how it's free moves to go. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to leave them behind. It won't let me
Why
grab
don't you just recenter? I'm just kidding. It's like I tried 4 times, man.
I
You
got
don't
it.
need
There
that
we
stuff.
go. Anyway, you start the game out on a freighter where you're smuggling some items, but you don't know what they are. You get attacked as someone tries to steal the items, and everything crashes down to this planet. And that's what all this wreckage is. So we're here to try to recover whatever this cargo was, and we're almost there.
Look at that water. How much better does this game look in that headset than the
Yeah.
Quest 2?
Yeah, this is one of the areas where you can really tell a difference is by looking at this the water.
Just the reflections, the sun, and it just looks so good. You're not gonna scan that. There you go. I knew Wes was.
Yeah, I
There's
got
no way he's passing that
I
up.
like that you can press the button with your gun instead of having to put your gun down to press the button. You can just.
I think
get up to
that's.
the muzzle.
Yeah, I think that should be in every game. Like if I could do it in real life, I should be able to do it in VR. Now, did you notice, and I noticed it on a few things, like it's not much, but there's a few items that'll have pop in, and then you step back and it pops out, and vice versa, or just like weird, just one object. And
I've noticed that maybe twice. Like it's been very rare.
yeah, it's just in a couple.
It's not
of
like Horizon
specific
where it's like
instances.
everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Crap, we got bad guys in here.
Inside?
Yeah. You're in here, bro.
Well, just because they're fighting against you doesn't mean they're bad. They could be good.
Where my droids
You're
at?
invading their home, dude. You're killing them.
Where's my shield droid go? Did I lose it? Must have lost it. I got another one.
A freshie. Pull out a freshie.
I didn't mean to drop that one.
BD says,
Right,
you know
go
who
ahead,
else?
man.
Who else likes it when you press the button? Oh yeah, press it fast. She really likes it.
Oh, it is a shield droid. Go. Maybe there aren't bad guys in here. I thought I saw some though.
And Nanook says, "Morning, Earthlings. Hope it's been a good episode. Breaking out the breakfast kush to watch it back through." Well, we appreciate you,
Nice.
Nanook.
Thing won't move. There we go. Boom.
Yeah, Fluke Rogi says, "Yeah, Root, some of the ground has some really bad pop in just in front of you. Would probably look better if they just removed it in places." Yeah, I just noticed a couple spots where I was like, wow, that all of a sudden it changed. I backed up, it changed. I went forward, it changed. But like Wes said, it was very minimal.
I seem to have found myself under siege by these wicked creatures. I am having a difficult time seeing. Will you return my photoreceptor to its housing?
We found the cargo. It's none other than C-3PO.
Oh, so he was the cargo.
Oh, that is much better.
I never put
You're
that together,
probably
Wes.
wondering how I came to be here.
I know I've rescued
I was
him, but
merely on an exploratory expedition.
Man, it really does look awesome. Like
demons frantically set upon me.
it
the
looks
gold
like,
and stuff.
yeah, the brass looks like it's tarnished, of course, like it would. That's something I've noticed a lot more in this version of the game. Is like you look through windows and like they'll have marks on them and like be dirty in areas. And it's very noticeable and realistic looking. Again, it's hard to point at specific things that have been changed, but everything just feels more real in this version.
Yeah, absolutely. How come he doesn't have one silver leg though, that nobody remembers?
If you could locate my pillaged
I
extremities
don't
and repair
remember
me,
anyway.
I'd be
He
very
doesn't. He
grateful.
only has one leg. Period.
Yeah, it's true. I guess he could. That could be the leg could be silver, right?
We'll find out. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing now. Is going to find
Finding
the
his
pieces,
parts.
maybe. I didn't listen to what he
time
was
to be-
saying, but I think that's what I'm supposed to do.
I think so, but I don't have time to be helping him out, man.
Locate 3PO's missing parts and repair him. Yep. So that's what we're doing. We need to find a leg, a hand, and an arm. The monkey lizards took it. Right, well, let's
Jerks.
find this stuff.
It's not theirs. They shouldn't be taking it. It's not fair.
I don't think I can get out of here yet, can I? Or maybe I can. I can.
So what's your
Where do I
favorite
get-
gun so far, Wes, as far as haptics wise?
Haptics, I don't know, man. They're all kind of really cool. Like, probably this one, like the rapid fire. I would demonstrate, but when it starts to
wanna waste it.
overheat, it feels really cool. My favorite weapon to use is this one, this blaster. Now, the you can't like cool it down when it overheats. Like you have a certain amount of charge on it, and then when it runs out, it's done. Like unlike these, which last for a while. But with this, one shot, dead. So if you, as long as you're hitting your targets, that's a great weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the shotgun thing felt pretty cool. Different. Just the haptics and stuff. And the triggers as
Yeah.
well, and the adaptive triggers.
Definitely, they all feel really good. I hear shots.
Shots fired.
Oh, he's shooting at me from up there. That's what it is.
Well, I want to know where your droids are.
They get
Keeping
lost
you
in the
safe.
caves a lot.
Jerks.
But listen when it starts to overheat, how it starts to rattle. You can really feel it. Like right now. You hear that rattle? That makes a difference. I do wish it had a real jump in it though.
Yeah, a lot of games just they think it's gonna be too much for people, but the teleport's good, but a teleport jump isn't as good as real jump.
It looks like there's another 3PO head here on the ground.
Just an
You want
extra
some new
one.
head? Yeah, just an extra one.
Yeah, silver though. Can you collect it like the governor? Put it in your backpack. Put it in a aquarium.
Another one. Ambush.
How cool was it in the beginning? How you could like even not only like on the planet, but like in the beginning scene or one of the beginning scenes, you walk in, and if you instead of paying attention to the guy on the screen, if you go to the window, you can see the Millennium Falcon fly by, and I thought that was pretty cool. Just those little details
Stories about it.
Yeah. Mind Jive wants to know if anyone's looking forward to Guardians Frontline launching today. Looks pretty sweet. Wish they would get the Rift Crossbuy version out soon. Thought fast travel games could help that get approved. Yeah, that's true. And definitely looks a lot better than it was when we played it. And so I am kind of intrigued on just how good it is.
Talking about Guardians Frontline.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we played it,
Yeah,
it was
does
like
look cool.
a little rough, right? And that was really early on.
It was very bare bones back then. I've been watching some of the footage of this game over the last couple of days, and it looks like a different game now.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Like, I don't care about the base building and all that aspect of it, but the combat looks cool.
Yeah, so that's the thing for me is like, it doesn't matter which game it is. When you start adding base building in, I start to check out. You know, it's just too much. Fallout 4 was the worst. Like, I ended up spending time doing that instead of everything else, and I just don't care.
So look, Roots, it's not silver, it's gold.
Is it? Oh well, it's not true to the memory, the real life that none of us remember. I don't remember a different colored leg. That was like one of the weirdest Mandela effect things for me. I was like, really? Like, that's a thing? I guess some people remember it that way, but
I don't even remember what I remember anymore. I've accepted it that the leg was a different color at this point, and I don't remember what I originally thought it was.
there's so many things that reasons why like people could misremember things anyway. So
Yeah, most of it is mass misremembering. I think. I don't think it's like anything crazy.
I don't think so either.
People wonder why masses of people share false memories. I mean, we all stare into flickering screens most of our days every day. Like, this is so weird to think that we might all be thinking and seeing the same things.
That's
like,
true.
It's not that crazy.
No, it's crazy that we're looking at flickering screens all day.
I've got one an inch from my eyes right now at the most. You know what I'm saying?
It makes you wonder, like, how far could that rabbit hole go in that, especially in a VR headset? Somebody was talking about earlier about hooking their brain up to in a jar to the VR, and you know, because I've heard people that they're ready for the chip. Put a chip in my brain, I go be in VR and feel like I'm really in this world and I'm touching stuff and because of and I'm like, nah, man, I'm never doing it.
Has no one seen the crazy shit that the Chat GPT says? Like,
yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not putting that in my head and letting it think for me.
Yeah,
now, it would be great if you could be 100% sure that that it would work the way that it's supposed to and never get hacked or glitched. Yeah, I mean, the upside's definitely real. Like, I think everyone would agree that it's very enticing, but I could never pull the trigger on it. You know, I could never trust it like that.
That's the thing. The level of trust that you would have to have in the people controlling it. And is anybody looking around at the world right now? Like, I don't trust fucking anybody. And you want me to put a chip in my brain? That's a hard pass for me. I get it if some people are want to do it, or if, like, I see, like, what was it, Neuralink with Elon Musk and stuff. Like, you're blind, you know, you've got some kind of a disability that, you know, like you can't walk or who knows what. Yeah, okay, at some point I see that. I'm healthy. I don't need no chip in my brain.
There's a lot of these lizard monkeys here, Roots.
Yeah, there's a lot of lizards. Is it, I guess in the hard mode there's more?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going the right way.
Wonder Rob says, as I get older, I am more and more willing to replace my biology with technology. Well, this is the thing. I see so many, like, okay, I've seen people with, like, metal legs and stuff, and there's so many reasons why to switch out part of my body with technology. But in my brain, switching out my brain, I don't believe it's wise. And, you know, I mean, but I only have to be wise for myself. That's the beauty of life. I don't have to be wise for anybody else. It's not my business. If people want to do that, I completely, you know, respect it. It's just not going in my head. And people say that's paranoid, but it's just, like Wes said, man, the chat GPT, just some of the things that it's been saying is pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, 3PO, I got you covered, my boy.
Is his eye back out?
It is.
Dude, like, leave your eye back out. Like, what did you do to pop your eye back out? Is he like thrashing around or something?
Okay, wrong way.
What a refined touch you have.
Oh, I
Swap
have
out
to,
my brain. Yeah, just take it out. I remember, what was it? Steve Martin, you know, and when he was a brain in that movie, right?
Yeah, the man with two brains.
Yeah, man, just a brain in a jar, you know?
This was one of my favorite movies when I was younger.
Yeah, it was actually a good movie, right?
I was a big fan of Steve Martin. Like, I thought he was hilarious.
Three Amigos.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, Three Amigos.
This is his container.
I even
True.
like
In all
the,
fairness, a lot of what... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right, go on. I was going to start talking about Steve Martin movies.
Wolvie says, in all fairness, a lot of what people say is creepy too. That's true. But it's... I don't know. I just don't trust
That's
artificial
exactly the
intelligence.
reason why you wouldn't want to do that, because the stuff ChatGPT says is a lot like the awful crap that people say, and you wouldn't want to let some other person have control of your mind. So why would you want to let the cold robot? You know.
That's true. Virtual Waypoint says, does this game have additional content like DLC that's included? I don't think there's DLC, but it definitely has extra stories and stuff, like part of the game, right?
Well, the second half of this game was originally sold as DLC.
No, that's true.
So
Even
there's
though
like
it was
chapter
all
1 and chapter 2. There's also, other than the main story part that you play through, there are shorter mini episodes that you play through as well as different characters in different situations. So while you can't necessarily go buy DLC for it, there's a lot of extra content included in this version that was originally sold as DLC.
That's true. Do you think they're going to come out with any more DLC? I mean, they could.
I don't
They
know.
could add to it easily with the story, the way that they have it set.
Pardon me, my photoreceptor isn't able to retract itself.
Oh, wouldn't let me shoot. gonna
Why
kill
is
that
his
son of a bitch.
eye keep popping out, dude? Stop. C3PO. Oh god, he's out. He fell down. That's so weird that his eye is popping out like that. Yeah, that's true. Wolby says we need a better understanding of how the brain works itself if we are ever going to get anywhere close to hooking up to VR in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I just, I feel like there's just so much not good in the world. And there's so much good too. I just can't see how it wouldn't be somehow used against people in the long run. If they ever did try to, you know, attach you into, I get it. It sounds like it'd be cool, you know, but how many dystopian movies do we need to see to realize it probably wouldn't be? Probably. I'll let you guys tell me. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh crap! Yeah, I forgot about this part. We gotta fight our way out of here now.
How's the Tempest audio in there? Do you feel like it adds? And we never talk about the Tempest audio, whether it adds to the VR experience or not.
You know, it's hard. It's a hard thing to judge because VR games in general typically have really good 3D audio. I mean, there's sometimes that you feel like it's definitely better, but then there's other times where it's just like, was it always this good? Maybe. But no, the audio. This game is just excellent in every category. Like, as far as production goes, everything. I mean, it looks great. It sounds great. The soundtrack is great. It feels like you're in a Star Wars movie.
And there's health everywhere, huh?
Yeah, I mean, look at how many I have. I have 19 of them in
Jesus.
my pouch.
You need them?
I mean, I use them. Yeah, I've used quite a few of them.
So when is the Walkabout mini golf supposed to drop? Do we know?
I don't know. I know they're requesting beta testers for it right now. So, if anyone who's interested in doing that, hit me up on Discord and I'll send you the link to sign up for it. It shouldn't be long. I don't know. They're testing for it now. It could be as soon as a month from now.
Brian's probably just chomping at the bit waiting because that's his favorite game in VR pretty much, right? Or at least on the Quest.
Yeah, it was his favorite Quest game for sure. Although he's really digging Demeo a lot now. He didn't really play it that much on Quest.
Yeah, they're both definitely really good multiplayer games. Play with friends, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Crap. It's an ambush. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
I'm about to run out of guns. Down to
You better
one.
Need to heal yourself. Yeah, you got some. You've been killing some guys. You not been picking them up.
There's one. I'm not 100% 100% sure where I'm going here. That
Check
way,
your
maybe?
arrow. Or do you use that?
I do every now and then, not often. But yeah, the bad guy's over there. That's where I'm going. And that water does really look cool.
Yeah, it looks really good. That's just even from what I'm seeing on the screen, right? Or in the headset, it looks 10 times better.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm just so happy to be back in PlayStation VR and having all this cool stuff to play. Like we really didn't. Well, we underestimated these ports and the value that they were bringing to light there, because they're not
Yeah.
just ports.
Yeah, especially this one. Wonder Rob says, I like the text to speech. You get to hear your comment read back to you by a robot voice. Yeah, I've actually talked about this 3 times this week, man. It drives me crazy as a content creator. If I'm streaming, I can't do it. I've tried it once, I think, and I literally was getting irritated with the people commenting because it kept cutting me off, and I'd have to stop, and I'd start to talk again, and then somebody's comment would be read again, and I'm like, nah, I can't do this. It's okay if you got a couple people talking, but once you get more than a few and it's just constant text to speech, I'm not supposed to get irritated with the people watching me. It's just not good streaming. But I mean, from somebody consuming the content, watching, I get that. It would be cool.
YouTube just needs to let us put the damn chat in the headset, man, like we do on PC.
Yeah, that'd be nice for sure. I think that they would, somebody would learn.
Oh crap! I got shot one time and got killed. I must have not had full health.
Did you die? Oh, I'm watching.
Yeah,
That's right. I'm watching the replay
You're
like
watching
everybody
it.
else. I'm like, oh my god. Well, comments are good. That's the thing. It's just, you know, I guess this would be the thing. If somebody's like streaming and they don't talk much, then it wouldn't be fine. It would be fine. If they're just content to let people's comments be read and they answer them every once in a while, I guess. I don't know. It's just I'm the same way. I like to talk, and so chances are I'm getting interrupted while I'm saying something very funny and witty. Everybody's laughing, and then all of a sudden I get stopped. Not cool. Distracted says, I think AJ is getting frustrated with it too. He finds it difficult to get a thought because nobody's ever having the same conversation. It's just too much. I can only imagine. Probably don't, not even close to having as many people as he's got in his streams pocket.
Yeah.
That's got to be out of control.
Those ones are the best. The exploding ones.
Oh, really? Oh, you're getting hit. Careful. Gotta get out of here, Wes.
I got this, bro.
So do you think Main Fan considers this more of a game than the other Star Wars game?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I use this blowtorch in VR, and it feels so cool that it makes me wish that the Lone Echo 2 was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
With a lot of this type of work that you do in Lone Echo 2, I'm sure it would feel really cool.
I wonder if those games will ever come over.
I doubt it. You know, maybe, but Oculus bought that studio and owns all that, so
Yeah, they own this. Well, they don't own it, but created by
They help.
Oculus Studio.
yeah, they help publish it. So.
Yeah.
It's possible. Nothing's impossible. You know, Sony has games that Meta wants too, so maybe they work
Do a
it out,
swap.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to a point where no one's buying your game anyway, why not?
Yeah.
I think people are
Money's
rushing
money,
out to
right?
buy Lone Echo 2 now. It's just not happening. Some people. Virtual Waypoint wants to know if we're going to check out Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, or have any thoughts on it. My thoughts are I've never seen the series, so I don't have any vested interest in it, but I'm sure we'll check it out and talk about it at some point if it's worth it. What about you, Wes? I've just never seen it, so I don't know anything about it.
I thought the demo
Story-wise.
looked pretty cool for the time. But it's getting to the point now where VR games are moving on and becoming something better. So I don't know how it's going to stack up.
Right. Yeah, some games
Well,
that
if it looks good,
that-
we'll play it. Well, we play
Yeah.
everything that we think is good, almost everything.
No, we played Marine Verse.
Back here again, huh?
So there are more enemies when you play on hard versus normal, or is it just they do more
I
damage?
don't know. It's been so long since I played on normal that I can't remember.
Because
don't
I
even know
kind
if
of feel
I don't know if I played it on normal the first time. You
I
know?
kind of feel like I do with the voice to speech sometimes when the enemies are attacking me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to get through this part. I don't need somebody to shoot at. You know, I get a little irritated. There's so many people. Like, please,
Of course. I
why is
know
everybody so
you're
interested in
really a
killing me?
great team.
Just chilling, just trying to get through here. You know, trying to rescue C-3PO.
This looks awesome.
I'm a
So
little
probably-
actually. You know what? It's weird now. I'm a little put off that his eyes not popping out anymore. The hell, C-3PO. Thought we had something going. Your eye pops out, I put it back in. I feel special. Wonder Rob says he likes the show, Peaky Blinders. I mean, this is the thing. If the show is good, and what was that other game that?
The resistance sent us to help build an encampment.
Westworld?
And in
Yeah,
order to
Westworld.
minimize exposure,
Like
only
I didn't even know what it was, and Wes recommended I watch the first season before I played it, and I did, and I was like, wow, that was really good. I would have never known. I thought that the game was cool. And so like if the game's, you know, if the show's cool and you enjoy it, then yeah, it's a no-brainer, right?
And the Guavian death gang after him. If only we had a wider surveillance network. Perhaps if we return to that
It's weird, Fluke, you know, it's hard to get bigger and still maintain that the community's closeness, I guess. It can be, for sure. And so it's kind of like a weird balance of trying to get bigger and still maintain that. We're not big enough to where it's affected us, you know, but I don't know. I feel like we would always be, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear exactly what you were talking about, but I think I get the gist of it. Would we ever kind of abandon our principles to grow? Well, I think here we are almost 4 years into it, and we're only just now starting to take off. It's because we decided to do it the way that we've done it, right? And if we were to change that at any point, Like it would be like, well, we would have wasted so much time up to now. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I wouldn't want to change the way we're doing it now after we've, suffered through the slow part of building a reputable channel built on um, certain fundamental ethics.
Hmm. That being said, we will declare What the Bat game of the year if we get enough money. No, just kidding. A lot of people are ruled by a lot of different things. The money is definitely a detractor.
I didn't see the
And
proprietor.
so what they were really talking about in the chat is like Distracted says, it's something that he worries about without parole. He wants it to grow, but he also doesn't. Sometimes it's also about wanting things to be like they've always been in that particular time, and things change, and it's it can be hard to get really to grow and still maintain that whole atmosphere, right? So
While he is still missing, I would consider our business concluded if I might use
Yeah,
your
change is inevitable. I mean, people change, technology changes, and obviously our channels are going to grow and change as well. But I think the key is guiding that change into something better. Like people like our content for a reason, and as long as we're leaning into what those reasons are, then change shouldn't be a problem. The change should actually be a good thing.
yeah, I think for me anyway, it's like Wonder Rob says, you guys will never go Hollywood on us, and I know I wouldn't. My thing is, and I don't think anybody else would either, but it's like somebody said, it was like 6 months ago, a year ago, they were like, you're famous, and I'm like, dude, like I did, like 2,000 people know who I am. Like that's not famous, man. That's like, I still have yet to run into somebody in real life, and and this would blow me away. I go into a customer's house that I've never seen, and they're like, oh my god, Roots. That would freak me out. Okay, because at some point I'm sure it'll happen, maybe somewhere down the road, but like, it's just being humble and realizing that I ain't shit without you guys anyway. So
But the first order is setting up a new comm center. That boosts the signal. So who knows?
look at that backpack. Look how big your thing is now.
That's what she said.
You know who else said that? I didn't. Did you get an upgrade? I guess that's huge, dude.
Not yet. No, that's just a regular backpack.
That's crazy. Look at all that stuff you got, man.
There's all the junk that I collected.
A lot of money.
Ruby says she would have kept you on if she knew you'd work for Crash.
Did we put the droid things in here too? Like the collectibles? These things?
That I do not know.
Yep, they're giving me money for them.
It really wasn't that much, though.
Will be when I put all of them in there.
That's true. Look, you're rich, dude.
There we go.
Oh, I thought it was like, go up on the shelf, Wolfie says, after you get the money.
So
Yeah, I guess Wolfie.
this
So you
is-
said you played through it twice, so
This is why we're collecting things and gathering all the money so that we can buy upgrades here. And I can see exactly how to do that. It would be great. I should have been paying attention when they were talking to me.
you figured you have. Yeah, you have this. You've played this before.
Will you shut the hell up, dude? Like, seriously. Shut up.
Text to speech. Oh wait, no.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to C3PO. He won't shut up.
Unless you're prepared.
There's a wall behind you when you're standing at the counter.
Yes, they do. Well, it's
Wolfie
a saying.
says.
No. Well, I say it. It's my saying. Well, anyway, you should check out my before
Yeah,
you
I'm
die.
trying to do that, bro.
Before you leave. Before you leave.
There's my credit. I'm standing in the circle. Okay, there we go. Now it's letting me do it. Alright, we have hover pack upgrades, a bunch of cosmetic junk. We can buy remote droids.
What do you usually buy?
Well, that's what I want right there. Charging holsters. This way you don't have to pick up more weapons. You can just recharge the ones you have.
That's a good idea.
Shoulder slots. So here's a shoulder slot so you can carry 2 more guns on your shoulders. Combat visor and then gloves. We got an auto heal gloves. That's pretty cool. Armor gloves.
Expensive.
Stabilization. Yeah. So I think I
So you
gotta
like-
get the hover pack upgrade first. I mean, that's
Can you
important.
only wear one pair of gloves at a time, apparently? Or can you, like, stack
No,
them?
you have to switch them. You have to pick.
Okay. So Wonder Rob says, I just got this email about Quest Arcade is an action-jammed FPS shooter in which you get to experience the glory of the 80s arcade.
Yep, it is. We played that game. Remember, Roots?
Yeah, I do. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Alright, so should I go? I can get both. I was going to say, should I get the shoulder holsters or the charging holsters? I can get both.
She says her paycheck just got deposited and she's already purchased Geometry Wars 3 and pre-ordered Switchback for next week. Wow, I am not going to
Nice.
pre-order Switchback. I refuse to because I'm getting a free copy. But I would have. It was on my mind. Like I am looking forward to that game more than just about anything.
Maybe we'll buy a copy to give away.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just as a thanks for the developers and to reward the community for being so awesome. That's my thing. I don't want you guys to ever change. You're worried about us changing. You guys need to
for
stay
real.
the same. Don't change.
Change your clothes, but change your underwear.
Yeah. There's some things you do need to change, please. If you don't, you might offend some people around you. Yeah, D says,
This man legitimately thinks that he is better than us.
yeah, he does.
So now that I bought these upgrades, so remember how I said that these guns here are, you use them and then you have to throw them away?
Yeah.
No, it won't let me shoot it in here. That's not the case
Yeah.
anymore, because now my
Yeah.
holsters will recharge them.
Nice. Yeah, no, I am. It's kind of funny. You can't shoot anything in here. I've tried. I tried to shoot that guy, the bartender. I tried to shoot the mechanic guy. Just won't let you.
I want to go back to the cantina now. I don't want to play through a whole nother chapter looking for R2, but I would like to show people the cantina before we...
Yeah, because it's already about 4 a.m. your time.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap it up, huh?
Yes, Switchback is a scary roller coaster like Rush of Blood. Yeah, it definitely. I think it's going to be Rush of Blood on crack. Rush of Blood is probably my favorite PlayStation VR game because I love roller coasters. I love roller coasters in VR, and it's not just roller coasters. It's shooting. It's horror. It's everything. So.
Oh, those horrible creatures!
Where did he go? Did he get taken down the hole? Probably. We're just going to leave him. By the way, looking out at this beautifulness here, which I guess you're a little bit behind, so it'll be a minute before you see it. But
I slid down a muddy embankment and discovered
Look at that mirror. No, I'm just kidding. It does look awesome. Looks beautiful.
you know what it reminds me of? It makes me think about?
Kentucky?
We need Par Point.
That's
We
good.
need Par Point. We need a new
Yeah.
Farpoint.
Do you think Farpoint's gonna come? And what do you think if it does come? What do you think people's reception would be without the aim controller?
I think it'll be great because I think it'll be a more. I think it'll be a game with more depth to it, because you know it's just going to be a more modern game, right? Games get better over time,
Right.
so I think people will be fine with it. I think it'll be um, there'll be a wider variety of weapons. Some of them two-handed, some of them one-handed, and they'll all feel great because of the haptics and triggers. And the tracking will be better, so that you don't have to shake them out. I think it'll just be better.
That's one of the things people forget about when they love the aim controller, like it's, you know, the best thing in the world, which it was really good. Is you were stuck to two-handed weapons. You know, like even in games that were ported over that used the aim, you lost the ability to have single-handed weapons, and they changed the weapons to two-handed, right? Something that would feel normal in your hand.
Right.
And so you're actually going to have, I don't know, I just think people discount the gun stocks or just the ability to use two controllers to hold a two-handed weapon. I think it almost feels better with two, you know, with two different controllers versus one.
Fuck, man, I keep dying immediately. I keep getting hit. All I'm trying to do is go back to the damn cantina.
I just want to get back home. Wonder Rob says, I loved Rush of Blood, one of my first VR experiences. When I left my body or felt my body respond to what seemed like real movement, I was astonished. Yeah, it was definitely, it's one of my favorite games to put people into that have no idea what it is, because it just seems like a carnival ride thing at the beginning. And then all of a sudden it just gets creepy and crazy. And I've just people's reactions like, okay, what is happening? Like what? They legitimately think it's like this carnival game, and then all of a sudden it turns horror. I think that's very entertaining to watch. Yeah, that's the thing. There's always people out there like Mr. Tass will be that that will or whoever's making the ones that you talked about for the gun stocks, that you think that there's going to be issues with it, but they find a way to use those track rings or whatever it is and make it work. So Vader 1 I saw today is probably smartest design so far, Wolvie says, as well as GB the Buzzy Gamecat says that gun stock is them sold already, the Vader 1. I have not seen it, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I definitely I'm not one to rush out and buy gun stocks, but I'll tell you that mini gun stock that I use that from Mr. Tass and the actual putter thing are amazing. And so there's definitely a place for them. For
You know
sure.
who else is making a PSVR 2 gun stock, Roots?
Who?
Sandlocking.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was
Remember
about to
that
hit the my mom
shit
button, but I assumed she didn't.
Remember that shit Sandlocking gun stock?
Yeah. There's a lot of bad gun stocks out there. You can't just buy one willy-nilly. You need to do some research. I will say that when Tass makes them, when he gets his hands on a controller, it'll be good. So, and affordable. Oh, so you have like Mr. Tass's kayak paddle interface. I'd say I never tried that. Kind of curious to know if that, you know, I guess you're saying it's good, so. For the Quest and the Rift, okay. Did you buy the shoulder thing?
The what? Yeah, the shoulders.
shou-
Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
got
because I was
stuff right
gonna
here.
say it looked like I saw you putting it over your shoulder.
Yep, I've got awesome holsters now.
Listen to Wes.
This man legitimately thinks
Mhm.
that he is better than us.
And he does. He is better than us. He's got awesome holsters on his shoulder. I do not. I made it pretty far in this game, Wes, without ever upgrading anything. Can you believe that? I never
I mean-
upgraded anything.
Yeah, you can through persistence. You probably could make it without taking any of the upgrades. Probably a lot faster too, because you won't have to stop and collect all the junk and money that people drop.
Yeah, but those quality of life upgrades, that holster that recharges the gun is like the best thing ever. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it helps.
Hey, what's up, Boy
Makes me
Brown
excited.
VR? Says morning all.
Morning, Boy Brown. What up? You know, playing a game like this and seeing how much better it is on PlayStation VR 2 makes me excited for a game like Hubris, which is similar in kind of what you're doing. It's very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. So many games. Think about Stormland if it ever came. With the haptics and even in your head, or who knows, it'd be amazing. That's one of the games that I would say would be not worth it to buy a PC VR setup for, but it would be definitely worth playing through when you do have it. For sure. There's not really many, if any, games like it. I feel sorry for that
think we
guy.
did it.
He just came around the corner and died like that. That was crazy.
You know, it got to the point where, like, I probably should just end the stream instead of going back. But after I fail at it like 3 times, like now I gotta do it, right? Like I
You're
can't
almost
just
there.
quit. Yeah, I can't just quit dying.
What
I
if
have to
there's
be
somebody that
successful.
just tuned into the stream that's never been here and they heard about the cantina and they are so excited, and then Wes is like, "Screw it, I'm out." No, we can't let that guy down. Poor girl.
We got you.
Yeah, Wes is gonna show you this cantina. Care if he dies 100 times. Well, actually, I think I might care. 'Cause I have to work in the morning, but at some point. So Boy Brown wants to know, why hasn't Wander update been announced yet? That's a good question. I mean, they're probably waiting until it gets closer to being finished, I guess, but definitely.
I don't know. The way that it sounded like that's going to be a significant remaster. So you're probably
yeah.
right. It's probably just not ready yet, and they're going to wait until it's closer to ready before they say something about it.
Yeah. That's the one I want to play this game, or that game is on PlayStation VR 2.
I want to play everything right now.
What about The Wire?
Oh, there's a wire? Fuck
Yeah,
that. I'm returning
honestly, yeah, I haven't noticed The Wire, man. Once I get the headset on, but again, I you know, I'm a bad case point. I sit down. I'm not, you know, I'm not spinning around in my play space.
That's the same. Like I play seated 90% of the time, so you know, not a big deal for me. We did it.
And we wouldn't have the amazing graphics if we didn't.
At least not
you didn't-
currently. I mean, it may get to the point where standalone catches up, but we're not there now.
It'll be with cloud gaming, I guarantee, and with maybe with a puck, man. I know people are opposed to it, but you know, that was one of my predictions early on that I think is going to be a thing. You know, take the processing unit out of the headset and just give us the light, you know, glasses, and have it attached to something that's in your pocket or on your hip.
You can tell where we are right about now. And look at this. This puck flew out of his hand when turn. Quick on the draw, that one.
I feel like
Fella on the wrong end of the blaster
I'm a
was
little put
bounty
off that
hunter.
one of his eyes is blind. I want to fix it.
Never ceases to amaze.
The eyes are
I
one
caught
of
you in for
the
something, I think.
things I think
Oh,
are
yeah.
really
All right, here's the deal.
look real.
Doc
I mean, the
Ock
eyes look
Yeah.
freaking
outpost
real, man.
relic wheeler deal. And he's looking for someone to collect something.
Yeah, the whole. I mean, it just looks so
It's real
good.
dangerous. Other people are after it. You might die. Sounds fun, right? Anyway, Doc said he would stop by and size you up, see if you're good for the work. Whatever you do, do not end up on Doc's list. Don't talk about the shape of his head. Don't ask him which mouth he eats with, because that is very rude. And certainly
Virtual event
don't
says
get him
being
started
seated is a
on
good tip.
occasions.
Coming new to VR, my controllers are already a little scuffed up from bashing the ceiling. Man, you must be tall. Yeah, I'm bashing everything. You know, it's definitely it's a thing. Wes busted his TV. He's trying to.
Yeah.
What were you trying to do? Throw a fish?
Yeah, throw fish, throw frozen fish.
Oh God. The pain is
Anyway,
real.
this place is awesome. You can start various different mini quests and story content from here by talking to him or talking to him. You got this thing up here that you can play.
You can put
I
stuff
guess it's
in.
not gonna let me
get
play it right
drink.
now. Like it would let me play it earlier. How's it not let me play it now? I don't know. It bothers me now.
Well,
Anyway,
it's probably the same thing as before, where you weren't centered all the way. And oh, there you go.
probably.
It disappeared
Got a
somehow.
jukebox, and then my favorite, the darts. We're gonna go check out the darts. And there's the Millennium Falcon. You were talking about that a moment ago.
Yeah, it's just chilling out there. How cool would it be if like Chewbacca and Han got in and like, flipped you off or something?
I mean, we just saved 3PO. They should be grateful.
Yeah, that's true.
I just clipped into the table and got stuck for a minute. All right, cool. So we're gonna play darts one time, and then I think we're gonna call it a show. But the darts are awesome. These are very addictive.
Does it ever make you want to go outside and just like I look out that window and I'm like, man, I wish I could like just chill out there and walk around and it'd be cool. So it really costs you 10 credits to play?
Yep. As long as you keep doing well. Oh, not like that. As long as you keep doing well, you can keep playing.
Kind of like pinball. You play forever.
Yep, exactly. Damn it.
Is there a leaderboard for darts?
I don't know if there's like an online leaderboard, but there are tiers that you get achievements for reaching certain milestones.
Do you think it's part of the platinum for PlayStation? I wonder
I'm sure.
what that would be.
Oh, that's it. I blew it. Alright. That's alright. We need to quit anyway. I'll sit here and do this all night.
JH says, Wes Ruuts, good morning, guys. Just got off, and I'm lucky enough to catch you guys live. Yeah, we're just about to end it, but you got the whole episode to go back and chill and watch and enjoy.
Absolutely. So, alright. So now we have to switch back over. So what I'll have to do is you'll tell me when you're ready, Roots, and then I'll kill my stream.
And then I'll start again.
And then, yeah, you can just start it back up.
All right. So, yeah, I'm ready whenever.
All right. So, yeah, what I'll do is I'll stop mine. Of course, I got to get out of the headset first. But I'll stop mine, and when YouTube's ready for you to start, I'll just tell you to just kick it back on.
Okay.
Yep. Give me just a minute. I got to get out this headset now.
Do the old swapperoo here.
Gotta find my mouse now. That's not good.
15 things you didn't know about Senator Amidala's wardrobe seamstress's cousin. I knew that. Everybody knows that.
Yo, can you hear me, Roots?
I can.
Okay. Got my mouse somewhere here.
It's hiding.
Yeah, apparently.
I killed a couple mice today. Well, allegedly. I put down some bait. I'm assuming a mouse at some point will eat it and go die somewhere. Dries them out from the inside west. Makes them really thirsty.
I feel like that right now.
You just ate some mouse bait, dude. Probably not recommended. Although it is anticoagulant. So, I mean, if you need blood thinner, that'd be a cheap way to do it. Probably not a good way to regulate yourself, though. I would suggest you do the medical route. That would probably be a little bit more good.
All right, so
All right.
I am now hitting stop on my end. Ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen who are watching live right now, do not tune out. Roots will be right back on. We're just switching over from my computer to his now, and this should be pretty seamless for you all. So just hang tight. We'll be right back.
Am I good to start? Yeah, we did it.
We did it again! Oh my god, we're the best in the
And
world!
we are back. So that's the first time we ever tried doing a real-time review like that from two different computers. But I think it went pretty well, right?
Seamless.
Yeah, pretty seamless. The quality was all good. I mean, it requires a little bit more setup on my end, but
I think it was.
I mean,
needed to happen, Wes. We can't this is PlayStation VR 2. We can't slum it the way we used to. We got to make sure that fidelity is there. You know.
now Mash says he wants to be the guy that plays the game sometimes. Like, you think he's going to want to set up OBS and put in overlays and bring your camera in and do all that shit?
Probably not. I think Mash is. He'll be like, "Nah, you do it, Wes." My thing is, I like to run the board. So I don't mind doing it on my end. So.
As if he's ever going to come home. Like, Mash is gone for like 6 weeks or something.
That's so crazy. I can't imagine being away from my house for that long. And I know he's got something like for his family and somewhere in there in between, because I know his wife is like looking forward to the beginning of next month, I think it is, for a break, she said on Facebook. So probably some kind of a vacation. Usually he's good about slipping in some Disney time or something, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll meet up in Florida at some point.
Yeah.
Actually, I know he's going to be in Florida. That might be where he's going first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know he's Texas and Florida, and it's all over, man. He's jet setting.
You know what? The weird thing is that Mash is leaving, and before he gets home, we're going to hang out in person. So
that's crazy. Cool. Well, that's cool. It's going to be the second time, right?
Yep. Second time in 3 months.
I've never even met you guys in real life. Although it sounds like I may or may not be meeting Skiva and Alex at some point in some mysterious Denver thing going on that he talked about on the CruCast. I'm always down to. I used to travel a lot. I mean, I used to do something called Jesus Matters a few years. That's been like 6 years ago. I used to travel all over the place. I'm not opposed to traveling. I just, money wise, it sometimes can be tight.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. It's expensive, dude. It is not cheap. That's why the patrons are so awesome. Thank you guys so much. I wouldn't be able to go to GDC if it weren't for the help of the people who donate through YouTube and Patreon.
Yeah, so you guys helped me get a PlayStation VR 2. You're helping Wes travel to these events, which he's been wanting to do for years. So you guys are awesome.
You rock. Anyway, yeah, I think that Skiva and Alex will probably do that Denver show just to meet you. So like,
That would be
these are the
cool.
type of guys these people are.
Well, and they're going to get to meet Dee too. So that'll be cool as well.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
because I'm sure she'll want to go as well.
Anyway, it is 4:20, and
Oh,
everybody knows what time it is. It's time to get busy on something else. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode here. I think the bottom line with Galaxy's Edge is the same as with the other two. Like, it's better. It's the best platform to play all of these games on is PlayStation VR 2. Is it worth buying again?
subjective.
Galaxy's Edge, no. Demeo, maybe. I'd say Runner, definitely, because Runner is $15. So, yeah, definitely, the biggest improvement out of the three, probably Galaxy's Edge, right? Like, it's a pretty substantial jump over the Quest version.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, all three color wise, amazing. But the gameplay on Galaxy's Edge, because there's so much shooting and so much, so many adaptive trigger things, and that really the haptics, the adaptive triggers, make a big difference for sure.
Yeah, you get the presence, right? Like it's hard to point at things that say, okay, that looks better than it looks in the Quest, because again, it was a very good looking Quest game, but the sum of all the little improvements add up to a more realistic, more immersive experience, and
And
that's kind of what it's all about.
who knows how much the audio is better or not? You know what I mean? We've talked about the Tempest audio, and it's hard to tell. But I mean, I would imagine if there's that many different locations where audio is coming from versus just traditional 3D audio, how could it not be better? We
Yeah,
just probably
that's
don't
the
notice it.
difference. That's the difference. There's a PlayStation 5 has a dedicated chip just for audio, and it can allow you to have 3D audio from something like 100 different sources as compared to like a handful through normal means and methods. So obviously, it'll be up to each developer on a case by case basis to utilize something like that. But it's there, and it's nice to have the option, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to try the first game, and maybe it'll be Switchback that you just definitively know. You're like, man, the audio is just so
Yeah.
top notch from so many different locations because some developers are going to utilize it and others aren't. So,
Yeah, Astrobot. Astrobot will probably be the one.
yeah, I can't wait for Astrobot to get announced that like a sequel, a true sequel. It has to. Like, I don't
Yeah.
see why they wouldn't. The first one was probably the best game or one of the best games on the console. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think that that we're definitely getting a sequel. I could definitely see even a remaster of the original remade for the new controllers and stuff. Like I could see that happening too.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyway, that's our show for the night, folks. We want to thank everyone who stayed up and hung out with us tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, please just click the things, subscribe, ring the bell, click the thumbs up. These make a huge difference to us. We've been growing a lot lately, and I think it's because you all have been actually clicking the things when we ask you to, and sharing with your friends. So thank you to everyone who's doing that. Again, if you want to talk to us off the air about anything VR or non-VR related, you can hit us up on Discord. There's an invitation link down below. It's free to join. And if you want to do something a little extra and support us, as we were talking a moment ago, you can do it on Patreon. $3 per month is all we ask. You get our weekly show notes. You get insider updates. You get the occasional exclusive content, all for less than $1 per week. And again, it really makes a big difference in terms of what we're able to do. So thank you to everyone out there who supports monetarily. Thank you to everyone out there who just shares with their friends. And thank you to everyone who's subscribing and clicking all the things. We appreciate all of you.
Now, Wolvie says, "Good show, nice shooting, Wes. Please, when have you not seen Wes with good? He's a crack shot, right?
Yeah, I play. Well, I like to say I play a lot of VR, but that's not always true. But yeah, thanks, Wolvie. Anyway, with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching for Roots. I'm Wes. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye now.
See you later. I gotta fix the outro. So it's gonna.